You're listening to a very special holiday episode of the Overcast, brought to you by Oversoul Gaming, home of the cinematic Let's Plays. And now, your feature presentation. Ho ho hello there everyone, and welcome to the Overcast, your joke-making, fun-having pop culture podcast. Tripping over my words today, but like always, I am your host Justin, aka Oversoul.
And I am your co-host Nick, aka the Vaping Fiend.
And like always, we're bringing you sunshine on a cloudy day. And this is not only our holiday special, the Christmas time extravaganza, if you will, but it's also the season 1 finale. So,
yes,
let's give ourselves a round of applause because we successfully made it through a whole season without getting cancelled. And that's a big accomplishment these days. Says the guy who has the power to cancel the show. Anyways. But yeah, no, this is our season 1 finale. After this episode, you won't be hearing from us again until after the New Year's, which will come back with the season 2 premiere strong, and we'll be doing a year in review of 2023. All of our favorite things.
Yeah, a little bit sooner than we did than we did this year's year in review or last year's year in review for 2022, because I know we did that one in March. This one will be in January, folks.
Yeah, that's because we have structure now.
Yes, we do.
But yeah, a 25 episode first season plus bonus episodes. They're not numbered, but they're there. So that's that's
and what better episode for our 25th episode than the Christmas special, right?
Right, because December 25th is Christmas.
Exactly.
So, yes, and everybody gets exactly 25 presents. That's how it goes.
Right.
Yeah, no more, no less. If you got more or less than 25 presents, somebody did something wrong, and you need to judo chop them in the throat. Don't do that.
No.
Look, I hold no liability for the choices that any of my listeners make. If I give you bad advice and you choose to listen to it, I cannot be legally held accountable because I did this disclaimer right here and now.
Exactly.
So there. But yeah. Anyways, this episode, holiday special, we're going to talk all about our favorite Christmas and holiday movies, TV specials, music, and even some video games that have some Christmas-ness to them.
Yeah.
So, but before all that, the usual structure, updates, media corner, and all that jazz. So, tell me, St. Nicholas, how has your life been going?
Well,
lately, what's new? How's work? What are your Christmas plans,
dude?
Stuff like that.
Okay, so I don't exactly know what my plans are for Christmas just yet, but I do know that my my mom's cousin Scotty is coming into town. My cousin Ginger's dad, Ryan knows Ginger. He's played I don't know how many shows he played with him before Martyrs Fall broke up, but he's the lead vocalist for Born into Exile and Faith in Vain. I know they did a show with Faith in Vain back in 2016. But yeah, my mom's cousin Scotty is coming into town. That'll be my first time meeting him, so that'll be interesting. Some biological family I've never met before that seems pretty cool.
Alright. When you see him, the first thing you should say is, "Beam me up, Scotty!"
I mean, yeah, he might get the reference.
Even people who've never heard of Star Trek get that reference.
That's fair. He's probably heard it before because his name's Scotty.
Yeah. Yes, it's very original. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
But Tuesday was interesting. I I spent a majority of the day at the hospital, in the emergency room on Tuesday. Yeah, I had a bit of a scare, folks. I went in with heart attack like symptoms. Thankfully, it wasn't a heart attack. They said everything came back normal besides my potassium levels. So they gave me a couple potassium tablets to level that out, and I got a bunch of bananas. So I just to keep those potassium levels normal. So there's that. God, my age is catching up with me. I'm turning 34 on the first of the year.
I told you not to do the spicy chip challenge.
Dude, okay. So so here's the what's fucked up about that though? That chip challenge that one chip challenge wasn't even the official one chip challenge. It was a bag of fucking chips and they weren't even that spicy.
Okay, all right. Big man here.
Like,
Be honest with us, though, really. You were just trying to get that free hospital lunch, weren't you?
honestly, I was fucking hungry. I hadn't had anything to eat that day, and fucking, I'm fucking starving. I'm hungry. I'm bored. I'm gonna turn on the podcast and hopefully I don't die.
Truly, though, have you ever been to a hospital cafeteria when you're, waiting for someone to get surgery? They got some bomb shit there
Dude,
sometimes.
I'm telling you. When I was okay, so I'm gonna talk about my daughter for a second here, cause my when I was staying in the hospital with my ex-wife, when during the time my daughter was being born, I went down to the hospital cafeteria. They had fucking Boston cream pie. They had some good shit in the fucking dessert area. They had like chocolate mousse pie, French. How was it? What's the? Oh, god damn it! What is the pie I'm looking for?
Key lime?
No, it's French Swiss something. I don't know.
Oh, is it that basically one that's all chocolate with whipped cream on top?
Yes.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, that. Dude, they had some fire.
Okay.
They had some good shit in that cafeteria. And what's funny about that is I recognized one of the ladies there in the cafeteria as one of the cooks. I'm like, you look really familiar. Did you used to work at River Bluff Nursing Home at one point? And she said, no, but I did work at Auburn High School. I'm like, that's where I recognize you from. I graduated class of 2009.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, they do say at Disney somewhere that it's a small world after all. I can never remember which one that ride is at.
I can't stand that ride. No, that ride is at both Disney World and Disneyland.
Oh, okay, so it's everywhere. Well, it's a small world.
It really fucking is. It's a small world after all. No, fuck
you
that
know what
shit.
I love?
That ride is fucking creepy.
And
there's an episode of fucking Small Town Murder with it's an express episode. No, that wasn't even Small Town Murder. That was I was scrolling I'm don't mind me, folks. I'm on a tangent right now. I was scrolling TikTok and I found a video and they said that it was this Redditor it was this guy that reads Reddit posts, and he was reading this story about the security guard that worked at Walt Disney World, and there was this family that went missing on the Small World ride, and to hear the rest of the story, to go and find the fucking podcast on fucking Spotify. I'm like, okay, I gotta hear the rest of this fucking story. So I went and listened.
Boy, they know how to advertise.
Oh no, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. No, dude, it was
Did
some dark
did they
shit.
deliver?
It
Did they
they
deliver on
did,
their
dude.
promise?
Yes, it was,
Okay.
dude. It was fucking. That's the kind of
Okay, so
shit.
it wasn't clickbait then.
No, it wasn't clickbait. No, that's the kind of shit that you don't fucking hear about Disney World or Disneyland for that matter. Disney
Well, you
parks in
do.
general. That
You
was
do if
some
you
dark
listen
shit.
to. You do if you listen to horror themed conspiracy podcasts and YouTube channels.
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair.
No, you hear this shit. It's just you definitely have to go looking for it.
Yeah, I was not
That's
looking for it.
There's there's this one YouTube channel that literally just goes through like all of these horrific accidents that have happened at theme parks throughout history.
hmm
Like,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, no, the
Um,
small town murder. One of the no, was it Crime and Sports? It was yeah, it was Crime and Sports. They have their different like themed episodes on their Patreon, and they do have like every once in a while like I think they have at least two episodes like this. They've got a part 1 and a part 2 of theme park disasters. And that's not
okay.
limited to like the big name theme parks. That's also like the smaller kind theme parks too that they talk about, that they go digging
Okay.
for specifically for these episodes.
All right.
Yeah.
So what else is you told me you jumped back into God of War Ragnarok?
Yeah. Dude, okay, so fucking when they announced the DLC at the Game Awards, I'm like I need to get back into this. So I got back. I decided to hop on and play some God of War Ragnarok and try and power through the part that I was stuck on, which was the part where you're basically fighting Angraboda's grandmother with her, and like you said it in the review episode that you did with Dalton. It felt like Toy Story. That
Mm.
part gave off major Toy Story vibes. But I am officially halfway through the game now. 15 hours in.
Okay.
I'm just
Well,
getting past the part where
halfway is debatable for 15 hours. It depends
that's fair.
how much side content you do.
That's fair. That's fair. So yeah, I'm 15 hours into the game. But I just got past the part where Kratos goes looking for the Norns with Freya.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes.
That fucking dude, that fucking part, that
the
cutscene,
the Norse version of the Sisters of Fate.
that dude, that the one that was super fucking annoying was the one that was talking every fucking time that that either Freya or Kratos said something, and then they would say it at the same goddamn time. As annoying as shit. I can't stand that shit.
Oh, yep. The Fates, they like to mess with people.
Yeah.
All right, and I'm going to
Yeah.
assume that that work is still work.
Work is work. Saturday, tomorrow, basically, we are, it's supposed to be what they call Super Saturday. I don't know the details behind it, but we're a week away from Christmas and we're in the midst of peak season, and my supervisor's gonna have pizza for the team before shift. I've heard mixed things. I don't know what's gonna happen with Super Saturday, but from my understanding, one of the things that I was told was that it's like a longer shift, so it's like an 8-hour shift as opposed to my normal 3 or 4 hours.
Okay.
So that'll be nice.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. But that all depends on the volume, because yes, well, we have been having higher volume, but that's just the building. Like last night was 333,000 packages in the building. But that doesn't mean that we're gonna have that many packages coming to our department specifically.
Okay. Oh man.
Yeah.
Well, as for me, work continues to be work. That is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm over my flu.
Good.
I still have every time I get the flu or any like equivalent horrible sickness like that. I get past it usually after a couple days, but then for the next 2 weeks, I'm congested as all hell. And that's where I'm at right now. I feel normal. It's just that like I can't breathe through one of my nose holes. You know,
fair enough.
that's basically where I'm at. And like 3 days ago, it was that, but with a headache. So
Okay.
it's still progress. You know,
Right.
So, yeah, because dude, when we recorded when we recorded the post Game Awards episode, I like literally had to crawl out of bed to get myself over here. It was
Fair.
so like, and it gave me a brief reprieve from it. But then when I went to go edit that shit, I felt like absolute hell, and I was like, oh god, I don't know if I'm gonna make it through this a second time. Yeah. You know, but we got it out there somehow.
Yeah.
Through some miracle. And it wasn't even lazy editing. If you go and look at the video version, I put pictures of the winners up there, and I put like the videos of the trailers that we talked about.
Yeah, there you go.
Different games and stuff.
Okay.
So yeah,
you did it. You got it out on time.
Oh yes. But yeah. Anyways, outside of that, so they released an update patch for Alan Wake 2 that adds a new game plus mode. You carry over all your weapons and upgrades from the first playthrough, and it's called Final Draft. But here's the real kicker, and why I'm doing it again. Well, I'm going through it again because I want to get the platinum, so I'm using a guide to find all the collectibles. But not only that, when you play Final Draft mode, some story stuff changes. There's extra stuff you can find that adds more to the story, and the opening cutscene and the end of the game are different.
Oh.
The opening cutscene has new dialogue, and the end of the game is extended past where it originally ended and gives you like it's an extended ending.
Okay.
It's like the true ending, basically.
Okay.
So yeah, decided to do that, and you know, I kind of got bit by the Remedy bug, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go back and just like replay all the Remedy connected universe games. So, you know, starting with Alan Wake, and then Quantum Break and Control. You know, all those.
Right.
I just feel like going through them again. That happened to me with Assassin's Creed a while ago too. Just kind of got bit with that bug, and you know, got that nostalgia itch.
Yeah.
So. It happens sometimes. I do it with Kingdom Hearts like once every 3 years. Just like replay the whole franchise.
Fair.
Yeah, actually, I noticed on my PlayStation year wrap up that the Final Fantasy X/10/2 HD remaster was in my top 5 most played games this year, like time wise. And I'm like, oh yeah, I did go back and replay Final Fantasy X this year, didn't I? So,
see, my top 5 were obviously Grand Theft Auto 5, Hogwarts Legacy coming in at number 2, WWE 2K23 coming in at number 3, Fortnite coming in at number 4, and 5 was Dark Pictures Anthology Little Hope.
I don't remember all of mine, but I remember Share Factory being on there and me being kind of irritated with that. Because, like, come on, man, that's a video editing app. It's not my fault. It takes just as long as the video is to render. But yeah, I was kind of glad to see, though, that, like, Assassin's Creed Mirage and Final Fantasy 16 were in mine. So that was good. Also, it wasn't GTA 5 on yours. It was GTA Online, let's be real. That was... They're considered...
It did. It said... I did. It said... GTA, Grand Theft Auto Online.
It definitely did. They are considered separate things.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah.
Theatrium Final Bar Line, that was on there because that's that Final Fantasy rhythm game that came out early in the
Mm-hmm.
year. And yes, have put over 300 hours into the 3DS version Curtain Call up until the new one came out. And in
Mm-hmm.
the new one, I already have almost 200 hours. Like,
Okay.
or not. No, not that much. Was it my most played one? I think it was my most played. It's up there.
Yeah.
It's over 100 hours at least. But I mean, it's a rhythm game. That's you know how easy it is to put over 100 hours into a rhythm game. You wouldn't think it is, but it is. Like,
I put in 342 hours of Grand Theft Auto Online.
and that's not a rhythm game.
No, it's
um,
not.
but like anyone who like grew up obsessed with playing Guitar Hero will know what I'm talking about. Like
Oh yeah, no,
that
absolutely.
you can lose your life in rhythm games. Like
Absolutely, you can.
especially if you're a fan of the music. Um
Yeah.
yeah, and and it's very arcadey. You're just constantly trying to beat your own high score, you know.
Spent 544 hours playing my PlayStation 5 this year. Dude.
Oh, I think I put in a lot more hours than that. But I also, when I looked at my stats, it said I played like 60 some odd different games. And I was like, those are rookie numbers. It's like more like dabbled in a bunch of things. But yeah, and that's just on PlayStation. It doesn't include all the things I played on Switch and Xbox too.
No,
So,
exactly.
and they do have their own versions of those that they put out. I have to go look at them. Yet I haven't looked at those ones yet. Um, but yeah, so that is what I've been up to for the most part. And then next weekend on the 23rd,
Mm-hmm.
gonna head out to Rockford to my brothers Dalton and Lindsay's house
Okay.
to for Christmas. It'll be the night before Christmas Eve.
Yep.
We're all gonna converge because I think he's working that night and doesn't get home till 10. So
Gotcha.
we're either gonna do presents late that night when he gets home because I may have to work the next day. But if I do, it isn't till like 2 or 3, and it's like right down the road.
Working on Christmas Eve?
Maybe.
Damn.
But they close early that night too. So
I don't know.
But-
I need to ask my supervisor what days, because if I don't know if I have Christmas Eve off.
yeah, maybe not. Christmas Day they would be closed, and I know we are too. So,
Yeah.
a lot of places except for like really big stores and restaurants are closed
Yeah.
on
No.
Christmas Day.
And
So
I would assume because it's a company that works with in conjunction to the post office and Amazon and all that we would have
right.
Christmas Eve and Christmas Day off.
Federal holiday, so yeah.
Yeah, so I would have Saturday and Sunday off.
So yeah, probably. Some
Wait,
retail places are
no.
open on
Sunday
Christmas
and
Eve, but they
Sunday
close
and
early.
Monday off. Sunday and Monday, okay, so no, it would be Monday. So it would only be Monday that I would have off. Because Christmas
Sunday.
Eve is a Sunday. Christmas Eve is Sunday.
Yep. Yeah, so our plan is we're either going to
Okay.
do presents that night when Dalton gets home, because Ryan and Chris will be coming down from Wisconsin to meet us there and hang out for the day and stuff too. And but everyone also has like their other things going on Christmas Eve night and Christmas Day with their other families. So we're getting our stuff in a little early, so we're either going to do it the night before Christmas Eve, so like Christmas Eve Eve, or that morning before everyone leaves and goes
Right.
home. We'll do like presents and brunch, and then everyone kind of like take off after that.
I'm gonna, cause I got my daughter a couple Barbie dolls for Christmas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's been bugging me about wanting some Barbie dolls, and she wants a fucking Barbie dream house. I'm like, ha, you're funny. No, those are expensive. $150 for a goddamn Barbie dream house. No, thank you.
Yeah, they're not cheap.
They're not. They're really not cheap.
But what else? Oh, new TV came in. Basically
Nice.
newer version of the one I already had.
Okay.
Instead of running on Android software, this one runs on Google software, and like I
Very
know
nice.
the two go hand in hand, but like
Yeah.
Google has their own shit too. Like they got their own phones and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
um,
I would say that's
but
that. I know there was the Walmart on brand TVs. Those are powered by Google.
yeah, yeah. So this one is another Sony Bravia, just like I had. Same. Like 4K HDR, X1 processor.
Uh huh.
um, all that fun stuff. It was a little bit different. Like I had to go into settings and enable enhanced mode for each of the HDMI ports in order for 4K HDR to work.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, HDR would have been limited to 1080p. It's weird, but one of the HDMI ports in this supports a PS5 feature called Auto Low Latency Mode, which basically um,
Okay.
if you are plugged into the right port and you turn the feature on to automatic on the system, it will basically recognize anytime you're playing a game and adjust the image
Mm-hmm.
to to give you the best picture quality while simultaneously the least amount of input lag for gaming. And
Mm-hmm.
I gotta tell you, I never really thought that was the kind of thing I would ever notice a difference in, but
Mm-hmm.
I kind of do. Um,
Okay.
I because like input lag is like when you hit the button on the controller, how long it takes for the action to register on screen after you hit the button.
Mm-hmm.
And I have noticed sometimes, depending on the game or something, there will be a moment where, like, it's barely noticeable, but there is like a split second of delay. I don't know if you've ever noticed when you're playing something that maybe there's just like the tiniest amount of delay between when you hit the button and when the character actually does the shit on screen. Maybe like not even a half second, but like half a second. To
A
some
little
degree.
bit, kinda.
Um, well, this is completely absent. That this feature makes that whole thing completely go away. It is mostly
Huh.
noticeable in first person shooters and stuff like that. Like games like Fortnite is definitely where you would notice input lag the most because it's a competitive shooter.
Right.
And if you're doing like a single player cinematic game like House of Ashes or some shit, you're not going to notice it.
Okay.
But even the QuickTime events are like generous enough for it to not be super noticeable.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's bad enough, it could throw you off on like the heartbeat monitor sections and stuff like
Dude,
that.
I fucking hate those
So
QuickTime events.
there's a reason that if you do festival mode in Fortnite, it has you like do a test, a metronome test before
Okay.
you start it. Yeah, there's actually a feature in the Final Fantasy Rhythm game that I like, Theatrium,
Yeah.
where you hit the button to the thing on the screen as it's going,
Mm-hmm.
and it will automatically adjust the settings to accommodate for any input lag. Um, but that is not a worry with this, and I noticed when I started playing games on the PS5 with auto low latency mode turned on,
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that like the responsiveness between my hand on the controller and the thing happening on screen
Mm-hmm.
is instantaneous.
Very
It's like
nice.
it's not the kind of thing I ever thought I would notice but now that I've seen it,
Mm-hmm.
it's one of those things that I didn't notice the difference between 30 and 60 frames before, and now I do.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
yeah. um yeah, one is noticeably smoother and more glossy. uh yeah, I noticed the difference here. I noticed the difference here. It's instantaneous, and it's like, wow, that's amazing. I don't think I could ever go back. Like,
Right.
I've never had such instantaneous input like this. And I notice it too because like on the Xbox,
Mm-hmm.
the buttons they make clicking noises when you push. And when I'm doing like my count sync for a Let's Play or something,
Mm-hmm.
it's noticeable because you will hear the click of the button before you see the shit on the screen move.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, but that is like gone on the PS5 with that feature on, plugged into that port. It is so cool.
I bet.
I wasn't expecting it. Besides that, the TV's pretty much the same. This one doesn't have Dolby Vision for the apps, but it does have like a under the hood stuff going on that makes it basically the same.
Nice.
So
Very nice.
it's still like 4K HDR.
Very nice.
So yeah, that's basically everything. So I say we take our asses on over to the newsstand and see what's going on in the media.
Sounds like a plan to me.
If you miss a line in the game, you reset. You miss it on the track, you could die.
All right there, everyone. Welcome to the Media Corner, the part of the show reserved for news, reviews, and recommendations.
Yes.
And I'll start this one because fresh on my mind. I just watched it earlier today. I checked out this Peacock exclusive movie by these three young gentlemen known as Please Don't Destroy. They are a recent addition to the SNL cast. They do like digital short comedy videos. They're usually pretty funny. They have a very Andy Sambergian type of humor.
Okay, so they give you like a little bit of a Lonely Island vibe without the music?
Yes, but in like yeah, it's very that, how to explain it, like awkward situational humor.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
And it kind of has like a 90s comedy vibe to it.
Okay.
Just a lot of goofy over the top stuff. There's like to give you an example, like the movie opens with the three of them going to work and their car doesn't work, so they're like, oh, that's fine, we'll just rollerblade, and there's like a happy song playing and they're having a great day getting into a bunch of funny shenanigans with people along the way, and then they get to work and their boss, who is Conan O'Brien, yells at them for being 3 hours late.
Oh,
you
shit,
know?
okay.
So it's that kind of deal, you know.
Would you say it is comparable to like maybe Napoleon Dynamite?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of that, but it's not as dry. It's not as cartoon. It's not as cartoony as Napoleon Dynamite.
That's fair.
It's a lot more slapsticky. It's a lot more. I would compare it to like a mixture of like Andy Samberg and Seth Green.
Okay.
Humor. Think like Without a Paddle.
Or Robot Chicken, maybe.
No, not that kind of Seth Green humor. More of the geeks lost in nature kind of thing,
so with that, yeah, like you said, Without a Paddle. Okay,
yes,
I see.
yeah,
all right.
that kind of ordeal, and like the comedy that ensues from those situations, like being chased by a hawk that doesn't fly, you know, and other stupid shit like that, accidentally upon a cult in the middle of the woods.
Okay,
you know, the shenanigans that ensue from this kind of weirdness.
Yes.
There's a lot of like slapstick stupidity and stuff like that.
Okay, all right.
And Bowen Yang, also from SNL, is in this as the cult leader, is pretty good.
Okay.
There's a few other familiar faces. Dustin from Stranger Things makes an appearance in the movie as well.
All right.
But the basic setup here is that like this guy's two friends are like starting to move on with life and like do their own things, and he misses the old days, you know, and how things used to be. So he's like, you know, guys, let's go find that treasure that we never found as kids, you know, the one that's hidden in the forest. Like, we got the compass for it. Let's finish the job, you know. It's got, like, maybe a little Goonies vibe to it there.
Okay. I can get down with that. I need to watch that.
This is all about just, like, them, like, kind of, like, trying to rekindle their friendship through this adventure, but along the way they have to deal, you know, with the goofy shit, like, you know, like the hawk and these park rangers that are trying to beat them to the treasure and, you know, the cult and stuff like that. And it's very, very silly. It's only a 90-minute movie. It's not perfect. There's a lot. It's like really, really stupid, but it's also not bad. Like, I was entertained. I would give it like a 7.5.
Would you say that it's one of those
out of 10?
Would you say it's one of those movies that you could just turn your brain off?
Absolutely. There is no thinking involved whatsoever in this movie.
You have me sold.
This is like
it's
one
on
of
my
the
list.
dumbest movies I've seen in a long time. Look, you want to know what led me to watching this? I wasn't actually going to watch this at first. I was going to watch this movie on Netflix called Leo. It's an animated movie.
I've heard about this.
Bill Burr and Adam Sandler, right? Okay, well, here's the thing. I started watching it. I got about 20 minutes in, and I was like, you know what? I can't. I like Adam Sandler, but this is trying too hard. Or not hard enough. I couldn't tell. But like for me, the jokes didn't land, the songs were terrible, and the story was disjointed and all over the place. And that was just the first 20 minutes. So
Jesus. Okay. So it. All right.
Yeah, and you know what? I just can't listen to Adam Sandler talk like he's got a mouthful of cotton the whole movie in this one. Like it's not like his old ones either. It's not like Billy Madison or something. It's like he's choking to death in I don't know. The voice he chose for the lizard in this movie annoyed me. So I couldn't. I couldn't get through it. You know what? You will probably like it. I can't. For me,
it's on my list for sure.
I knew I was in for a bad time when like the first song opens up and the kids are all talking about they're getting ready for the summer or coming back from summer or whatever, and like none of the words rhymed, and one kid's voice kept cracking, and I was like, oh no. Oh no.
As a parent, I can appreciate that.
So, but anyways, back to the slightly better movie that I actually finished. No, Please Don't Destroy the Treasure of Foggy Mountain is actually pretty good. Like, if you like these guys' shorts on SNL, which I do, then you'd like this movie because it's basically like one disjointed sketch after another, and there are some genuinely funny lines in here. It's for me, it's not the situational comedy that makes me laugh and stuff like this. It's the funny one-liners, like the clever the clever jokes that land. You know, and there was a good amount of those, you know, enough for me I'd give it like a 7.5. Not a bad first attempt at a movie. You know, they're no Lonely Island, but you know what, I'd give them an A for
It's
effort.
on my list, so I'm definitely gonna have to check it out. I watched the trailer for it. It looks funny. I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna shut my brain off.
Yeah, I think you would like it.
And have a good laugh.
It definitely feels like a throwback comedy. It feels like the kind of comedy that we grew up with.
That's awesome. Okay, you've got me sold. I'm sold.
Like late 90s, early 2000s vibe. So, what do you got?
Also fresh on my mind. I just before recording this, I watched on Netflix the Gran Turismo movie, and I see why it was nominated for Best Adaptation at the Game Awards.
Okay.
Dude, there's some heavy shit in this movie. But there's also some funny one-liners, like fucking Dave Barber, fucking hilarious in this. During one specific part, he's training the gamers that won the contest in each of their countries, and he's training the gamers to fucking drive for like an actual like legitimate race, but he's also pushing them to their limits, like in every aspect. Like he's actually getting them out and running on their feet. He said something along the lines of, yeah, it's good to get out and stretch your legs. The last time you exercised this much was when you went to the freezer to get a Hot Pocket. I'm like, oh, shots fired.
And if I recall, this is based on a true story, right? Of like the guy who actually became like a real race car driver because of his skills with the game.
And yeah, and the guy that created Gran Turismo is played by Orlando Bloom.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
He plays a game developer. Cool.
Yeah.
Um. So the way that this is structured, and the vibe I got from the trailers, is that this is technically a sports movie when you think about it.
When you really think about it, yes, but it is really, really good.
It's like an underdog story type deal, you know.
And his dad's a piece of shit.
Right. Yup. That's a sports movie.
His dad's a piece of shit.
You got all your formula right there. That's the only part they were missing was the shitty abusive dad that doesn't root for him. Then he sees him on the TV and he's like, "That's my boy."
There's some heavy shit in this, and I don't want to spoil anything. So I'm gonna let you watch this one and find out for yourself.
It's kind of hard to spoil sports movies, especially when they're based on a true story. Spoiler alert: they win. Like,
I don't remember seeing anything about this part in the trailer, is what I'm saying.
Fair enough. Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah, it's on my list. I'm gonna check it out.
It's good. It's really fucking good.
I like David Harbour and Orlando Bloom.
Yeah.
So
yeah, no, it's good.
Yeah, you got a rating.
I would give it a 9.5 out of 10.
Okay. Wow.
It's that good, bro. Dude, like, I really enjoy race car movies, and this has got to be one of my, like, top 3 favorites. It's that good.
Okay. All right. So let's see. I was trying to decide which way I wanted to do this. I think I'm going to go ahead and do the bandage rippage one first, and I am going to talk about it's recent news that the late and great Andre Bauer, I can never pronounce that last name correctly, but Captain Holt from Brooklyn Nine-Nine has passed away, the actor who plays him. He was also on The Wire, and he was like in Stephen King's movie The Mist. He played a small role. He's been in a bunch of stuff, but a lot of people in recent years, if you didn't know him from The Wire, then you probably knew him from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. That was like...
Yeah, that was to say, the first thing I saw him in was Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people know him from. Yeah, and that is very sad. I know that, like, the cast was very close on that show.
Yeah. Oh, no, absolutely. They were on for how many seasons?
I can't. I think the show lasted 10 seasons total, and before they wrote like an actual ending. I think it was 10 seasons because like it was on Fox, and then Fox canceled it, and NBC picked it up and finished it. So
yeah.
I think 10 seasons. I could be wrong, but
and when you
somewhere in that ballpark.
And like we've talked about before, when shows are on for like so many seasons, they become more than just a cast, like a family, like Supernatural or Friends. Or even the cast of like a lot of like the Disney old like 90s Disney sitcoms.
And the cast of the Fast and Furious movies,
whether
they like it or not.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
Because Dom Toretto, he's all about fab.
Right.
With a capital F. But yeah, it is sad. That one hurt when I saw that. I was like, no, Captain Holt.
I need to go back and do a rewatch of Brooklyn Nine-Nine because I don't think I made it to any of the later seasons. I don't think I made it past like season 2 or 3.
Oh yeah, the stories get so good. They deal with a lot of social issues in tasteful ways. There are characters that build relationships with each other and even get married as the show goes on. It is fantastic. And when they move over to NBC, they start getting a little more risque with the jokes. Kind of like when
As they should, because Fox is a bunch of pansies.
It's like when American Dad moved to TBS. Yeah.
Exactly, because Fox is a bunch of pansies.
Yeah, they still let Family Guy get away with stuff, but you know what's crazy? Next year, Family Guy is moving from Sunday nights to Wednesday. I think it's either Tuesday or Wednesday nights to make room for a new show on the Sunday slot.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
Now, this could be the end for old Family Guy because that's usually a sign of being put out to pasture at that point. Like,
I mean, Seth MacFarlane's also working on the Ted show for Peacock.
Yeah, he hasn't been directly involved in Family Guy outside of doing voices for like the past 5 or 6 years. Ever since he started working on the Orville, he handed the show over to Alex Sorkin.
Do you think he'll ever get back involved with it if they decide to end it and if they do a movie?
I mean, he's still involved. What I'm saying is he's not a writer anymore.
Better question. Do you think he would get do you think he would be open to being a writer for a Family Guy movie?
I would hope so.
Me too.
I would hope so.
Me too.
If they would end it that way, but yeah. Anyways, so that's I put this. This is a great loss. I put this one up there with like Carrie Fisher and Adam West.
No, absolutely.
Speaking of Family Guy, and granted, like Andre here, he didn't have his credits weren't extensive as theirs by any means, but I feel like the time that he did have on screen left just as much of an impact for the people who watched him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for 10 whole seasons of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, he was TV's stern, cranky, gay grandfather.
Pretty much.
We loved him. We loved him so much. He was like Andy's character in that show. He was like a father figure.
Yeah. Oh no, absolutely. I'd gathered that.
So, woof. It's a little warm in here. No, it does make you emotional talking about the losing one of the great ones. And it was just health complications.
Damn.
That he wasn't even. I think he was in his 60s, so he wasn't that old. But it's still sad to see him go. But it happens to the best of us. So what else you got?
I don't know how else to just segue into it for that, but I'll just go off and say Sarah and we've been doing these virtual watch parties for a while now. It's with her living in Iowa. It's kind of hard, but to make it work, we to spend time with each other. We try to make it work by doing virtual watch parties, and there will even be some times where we will prepare our dinner together at the same time, so that we could sit down and eat together. But we watched a movie on Hulu the other night, and it was called Merry Kiss Cam. And with her and I both being hockey fans, I figured this would be perfect. It's a romantic comedy about this couple, this artist. She stumbles into this hockey bar on a whim, and she sits down at the bar and starts striking up conversation with the owner. Now, the owner is a huge hockey fan, and there's in the town in Minnesota that they reside in, there's a college hockey team called the Bulldog, and she wrote down her name, and she drew like a small picture of him on the backside of one of the coasters that they have at the bar. And he he went looking on social media for this girl, and he found her. She's a local artist, and she's kind of a big deal. And he sends her a message, um, inviting her on a date to a hockey game. Now, this hockey team is on a losing streak, and they have absolutely no hope whatsoever. And in the third period of the game, they do the kiss cam thing. And the last kiss cam that is up there is these two. And mind you, this is their first date. And when you're put on kiss cam, you're kind of put under a certain kind of peer pressure that you're kind of forced into making the decision to kiss the person next to you, unless that's your brother or sister, because that's just weird.
Well, that won't stop some hockey fans.
You're not wrong, though. Okay, so one thing about hockey fans is hockey fans, and I can attest to this. Hockey fans are serious about when it comes to superstitions. Now, they kiss and this kiss cam, and the next thing you know, they're scoring and winning the game. So, and she comes back for another game, and they do the same thing, and it happens again. They win again. So at this point, the fans at the game are starting to come up with this superstition that these two have to be at every game in order for this team to win and then be on the kiss cam. It's cute. It's a really cool movie, and I'm a sucker for a good romantic comedy. It almost felt like a Lifetime movie.
Hallmark? Yeah.
No, Lifetime.
Oh, it's the same thing for me.
Lifetime, Hallmark, yeah. It felt like a Hallmark movie. But no, it was
Lifetime
cute.
is the channel where you see Hallmark Christmas movies, and Hallmark is the channel where you see Lifetime Christmas movies.
That's fair. I mean, they just added the Grandpa Christmas movie to Disney Plus earlier in this month, or earlier. No, that was last month. They added that to Disney Plus last month, towards the beginning of November.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't superstition? It's like in sports, it's not exclusive to hockey fans, right? Like, because there's a lot of when the football game comes on, certain teams, certain people have like these rituals they have to do and stuff. I'm thinking too of
hockey fans are on a
Philadelphia.
different level with their superstitions.
Well, like in Sunny in Philadelphia, Charlie has the Green Man suit, and he has to wear it and do all the things to make sure that his team wins. The Eagles won't win unless he wears the green suit and does all his things. Like, it's his superstition.
Hockey fans are on a different level when it comes to superstitions. Like one of my superstitions because I'm a Blackhawks fan, and I am whenever my team enters into the playoffs, I cannot trim or even so much as I cannot shave or so much as trim any hair on my face. So I like my beard will go end of the playoffs as long as we are in the playoffs. I won't even trim my mustache. That's my superstition.
I guess that is a little different. There's a difference too between superstitions and rituals. They can go hand in hand though. Sometimes.
Oh yeah, absolutely they can.
One begets the other more often than not.
Yep.
So what would you rate this movie?
I give it. It's a cute holiday movie. I would say there was some heavy stuff in it, so I give it a solid 8. Being generous, considering it's just a holiday movie. So that's also our topic of discussion here. But yeah, it was good. It was good. I liked it.
Okay. All right. Well, the next thing I'm going to talk about here, I'm cheating a little bit, but it's a twofer. This is so uh I recently watched both season 7 of Big Mouth and season 2 of Human Resources. Human Resources is a spin-off show of Big Mouth. So I feel like I have to explain this a little bit because some people like this is an Emmy nominated show for a reason, and I know sometimes people hear about it and they're like, "Oh, isn't that sex show about the kids going through puberty gross?" You know, there's like, yeah, but that's kind of like saying BoJack Horseman is just a show about a depressed horse. It's a lot more it's a lot more nuanced than that, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it is that. It is exactly that, but it's also more than that. It's way more than that. You know? Sometimes boiling things down to their simplest version of what they are does them no justice. You really have to like dig deep and look at the picture beyond the picture, you know? And Big Mouth is one of those cases because yes, in the beginning it is a very nasty ass raunchy show about middle schoolers going through puberty, and their puberty is represented by these hormone monsters that like, you know, encourage them to do nasty sex shit because they're always horny. But
Right.
it's a metaphor. The monsters aren't real, at least not as far as we're concerned. It's complicated, but that's what the spin-off show is about, Human Resources. It deals with all of the creatures that deal with humanity's problems and emotions working at like an office type situation. And the idea is that they are the person that they're working with, their client, is the only one who can see them and talk to them. But they are all
Makes
visual.
sense.
They are all visual representations of different things. So you have logic rocks, you have anxiety mosquitoes, depression kitty, the hormone monsters, the shame wizard, the addiction angels, the love bugs, the hate worms.
Okay.
Yeah, they represent a lot of different things. There's this one that's just a sweater, and his name is Keith. Keith from Grief.
Okay.
He's Keith from Grief, and he shows up when people need to grieve, and he's a big sweater that you can hug. You know,
That's
it's
awesome.
like. So yeah, so the show starts off being about things like puberty and the changes that go through that, and it is basically, even though it's like an adult cartoon, it is the target demographic is like the teenagers that are going through the changes the show's talking about. At first, anyway, as the show evolves, it starts also kind of digging into the parents' lives. Like one character's mom discovers that she is a lesbian, and she, you know, has like divorces the dad, and that
Right.
becomes a whole thing, you know. And the adults have their own invisible creatures too. It's not just the kids; the adults have them too, and they help them, or at least try to help them get through these things.
This will probably hit too much for a home for me. Fucking shit.
It's like, I mean, the show, I mean, is really like crazy horny. Like it is like at least 60% of the jokes are about sex.
Christ,
Like even
okay.
in the newer seasons.
I've
But-
seen a
and-
few
but- and you know me,
episodes.
I'm
I've
like-
seen a few episodes here and there.
I'm-
I haven't watched the full. I haven't watched the whole thing, but I have seen a few episodes.
And some of it is like straight up nasty. Like, oh my, like I can't believe they went.
No,
that
I believe
far,
it.
kinda crazy, but like the thing is, you know me, I'm like borderline asexual. I don't care about much of this. Like the, you know, sex jokes are like very lowbrow for me and stuff like that. But like they dive into that kind of stuff too. It's not just about that. They deal with, like, there's one character named Missy. She's African American, and they do a whole episode about her because, you know, she grows up very white and proper and all that, and she goes to visit her cousins down, you know, in the suburban areas, and they make fun of her for not being
Right.
more like them. And the whole episode is about code switching, where you know, black people have to quote unquote talk white or put on their customer service voice in order to fit in certain situations, or vice
Yeah.
versa, you know, or like, if sometimes their black friends will make fun of them for not being black enough, and they do a whole episode about that. They do an episode about body image issues where characters are like, they're like, oh, my belly's too big, my boobs are too small, I'm not happy with my body. And they do a whole like song and dance number about how everyone is beautiful and stuff like that. It's a very, very forward-thinking show, regardless of all the other shit that it does.
Okay.
There is an entire episode dealing with feeling shame and feeling ashamed of yourself. There is an episode all about asexuality, and like they dig into like, is it normal for people who are asexual to still feel pleasure?
Okay.
And stuff like that. And they talk about that kind of stuff. And I think it's a lot of it's very important talking points for, kids who are around the same age of the show who are discovering themselves, for the first time. Plus, it's got a phenomenal cast. It's got Nick Kroll. It's got Jason, what's his nuts, the crazy guy, Mansazukas or whatever. It's got John Mulaney. It's got Fred Armisen and Maya Rudolph in it. Maya Rudolph plays the hormone monstress, one of the creatures.
Yeah.
And then in Human Resources, it goes even further. You've got Randall Park, A.D. Bryant, Keke Palmer, Hugh Jackman. He plays the addiction angel Dante.
Where can you find Human Resources at?
On Netflix as well. It's a spin-off of Big Mouth. It started there's only 2 seasons of Human Resources and 7 seasons of Big Mouth. And they do kind of tie in. Like season 1 of Human Resources introduced a character called Petra the Ambition Goblin. She shows up whenever a human starts feeling ambitious and want to like get shit done. She's like a very business type. And she ends up showing up in an episode of season 7 of Big Mouth where Andrew, because of an injury, has to give up masturbation for a while, and he starts putting all of his free time into like, like actually getting good grades and shit at school, and like the ambition, and like his dad finally starts showing him love, and he's like, what was that? And then the ambition goblin shows up, and she's like, that's love, and you want more of it, don't you? And so it's just like, and they do a whole song and dance number. The songs on that show fucking kick ass too, by the way. That's another thing I like about it. Like, it's got really, really good songs. And they got a lot of famous people in them. Megan Thee Stallion did a song in season 7 for it. Yeah, and in season 7 they deal with the kids leaving middle school and going to high school and all the changes that come along with that and how that can be a scary time of your life.
Right.
And again, it's not just the kids. One of the characters, their Coach Steve, he's got some mental issues, maybe some schizophrenia, but he is dealing with the fact that all of his students are leaving and moving on to a new school, and it makes him feel sad and lonely too.
Oh no. Teachers will get attached to their students.
Exactly.
Over the course of the school year, and then that's a real thing.
Yeah, and like sometimes the characters like manifestations of things like their anxiety and stuff. Like, I like how anxiety is a little mosquito that buzzes around and tells you a bunch of worrying shit. Like, that is such a clever metaphor. That's why I like the show, because the metaphors for the emotions and shit the humans feel are fucking spot on. And Logic is a rock person. Like, Logic is your rock. Some of them they do just so that they can be puns. Like, Gratitude is represented by a toad, and they call him Gratitoad.
That's clever.
Some of them are just puns, though. Like, the love bug is an actual bug, and it, like, glows when someone falls in love. But what I think is really cool and really clever is that the love bug can turn into a hate worm. When someone starts feeling hate for someone they once loved, their love bug will actually turn into, like, a evil snake-like creature.
Like a danger noodle or a nope rope.
Yeah, basically.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, I think it's, and that's what Human Resources is about. The spin-off show is about all of these these different creatures, and they get to the tube comes down and they're like, oh, I got a new client. And then they go down to Earth and they're like, hi, I'm your love bug. I'm your logic rock. I'm your ambition goblin.
Okay.
I showed up because of some big change in your life. So I'm going to be helping you through it, so the two shows, they go together like that. And take it from someone who I like. To me, sex jokes are like lowbrow toilet humor, like bottom of the barrel from me, and that is a lot of what Big Mouth has going for it.
Oh no,
but
absolutely.
If I can get past that and see the better aspects of it, then anyone can.
Right.
So yeah, so a strong recommend for both of those shows because they are not exactly what they look like on the surface. There's a lot more nuance to them.
No, I've watched a few episodes of Big Mouth, and I enjoyed it. It's just I kind of fell off of it. I just need to get back on it at some point.
Yeah, that and Human Resources. If you do don't start Human Resources until you're in season 6 of Big Mouth.
Gotcha. Okay.
They kind of go hand in hand. So
makes sense.
At that point, it's like Arrow and Flash.
Okay.
But all right, you got one last thing for us?
I do, and this is some pretty exciting stuff considering we just did our review of Saw X a little while ago. They have officially announced a 11th Saw film coming out next year. I am excited
September
for this.
24th, or no?
September
something.
September
maybe
something.
Not 20. 24 is the year, but
yeah. No, I'm excited for this. I'm curious as to if this is gonna be another like prequel movie. Like, is this gonna take place between 2 and 3, like Saw X took place between 1 and 2?
It looks like they're keeping the Roman numeral style too. Like they're going for 11, it's XI. So
yeah,
interesting.
This is exciting. Yeah, this is exciting stuff. I'm here for it.
Yeah, I'm interested to see where they go from here. Whether or not it's another in between story or if they continue, with Dr. Gordon or whatever down the line, or Logan from Jigsaw. It could be one of them, or even the guy from Spiral.
That would be that'd be another that's another possibility.
They could very well be continuing to branch out into the like cult of Jigsaw followers type scenario where there's they're different people, different copycat killers are popping up throughout the country, represented by that Spiral. So I wonder if they're just going to expand the lore or if they're going to bring us back to John and Amanda,
Maybe.
Because they kind of struck gold with Saw X. It was like...
Oh, it was so good.
The refresh the series needed for a lot of people. And
oh, absolutely.
I don't know,
it was so good.
I feel like it would be wasted potential not to keep going with that. But did you know Tobin Bell is 80 years old? Holy shit. And he's like... And look at him go. Man, the man looks... Good for 80.
He's still going. Like, he's still got it.
That's crazy. And he played, like, a central role in the last movie. Like, the main character. He was, like, in the whole thing. And that was another departure from the rest of the franchise. Usually we had split between, like, the trap plot, the cop plot, and some, Jigsaw moments. But
no, it was all Jigsaw. I love it.
That movie was all John.
It.
Yeah.
Sure was.
So yeah, good to know that we're getting another one so soon. Seems like it'll be the same people. By the way, if you haven't seen it yet, definitely watch the kill count for Saw X from Dead Meat.
I have not seen that yet. Honestly, I haven't.
They loved it.
I haven't really touched any of the kill counts that you've sent me. I'm gonna be completely honest. I've had a lot going on.
Oh, fair enough. This one's a good watch though because the kill counts. I mean, it's not just a recap of the movie, but they show you a lot of behind the scenes stuff too.
Oh, sweet shit! Yeah, I'll have to check it out at some point.
That's one of the main reasons to watch them and to hear the jokes and stuff
that's fair.
that James makes.
That's fair.
I usually use them as a refresher when I'm like, trying to get into watch like the seventh movie in a franchise and I don't want to rewatch the first six.
Mm-hmm.
Just watch the kill counts instead. Way easier.
Yeah.
But all right, well, that is the news, reviews, and recommendations. Just for a recap, we talked about Please Don't Destroy the Treasure of Foggy Mountain, available on Peacock. Gran Turismo movie, available on Netflix.
So good.
R.I.P. to Andre Bauer, which, new information, by the way, it was lung cancer.
Oh, shit.
That did him in. Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
So, rest in peace, Captain Holt.
Yep.
And you talked about, what was that Kiss Cam movie again?
Mary Kiss Cam. Yeah, it was Mary Kiss Cam. It's available on Hulu. If you're into like Hallmark type romantic comedy Christmas movies, it was actually really good.
And then Big Mouth and Human Resources are both available on Netflix. And, of course, Saw 11 is coming at you in theaters next year.
Yes.
All right. Well, let's put on our Santa caps and move on over to that their topic of holiday movies and such.
Let's go.
Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.
Okay, everybody, here we are. Merry holidays and all that. It is the holiday special. And of course, the topic is all of your cheery-ass movies and shows and specials and stuff that is all Christmas and Christmas-adjacent type things.
Anything and everything having to do with Christmas.
Where the old, the new, and the all over the place. I want to start with just like the traditional animated Christmas specials, like just like the short cartoons that are based off of classic songs like Frosty the Snowman,
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Yeah, the one where the elf wants to be a dentist.
One of my all-time, and then we got the claymation ones, like The Year Without a Santa Claus.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That and I'm Mr. Heat Miser. I'm Mr. Sun.
Yes. Love that shit.
And what was it? The Island of Misfit Toys.
Yup.
As well.
That was another really good one.
Those claymation ones, yes.
Then we got the
Frosty wasn't claymation, but it was like hand drawn animation. But that was a good one too.
Still in the classics category, but there's another animated short film that has a book it's based off of Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Oh, yeah, of course. You can't talk about animated Christmas movies without talking about that.
Can't forget about the Grinch.
And I was definitely going to talk about it because of the live-action Jim Carrey movie, too.
Yes.
And the fact that there was, like, a Grinch video game. There was a video game based
on
the Jim Carrey movie.
Yeah, I played a little bit of that when I was younger.
I remember it, too.
It was so much fun.
Whenever he'd take damage, he'd go, ow!
Sure would.
I remember. Oh, those old-ass, Disney game, movie games are so weird and great.
Oh, yeah.
That was a DreamWorks movie, I think, though. I think DreamWorks takes care of the Dr. Seuss adaptations. No. Yeah, because they did Horton Hears
Universal.
And they did the Lorax.
Universal. Universal.
Yeah.
And I only know this because there is... At Universal Studios Orlando, there is a complete area dedicated to Dr. Seuss. And Universal Studios is famous for, around the holidays, hosting the Grinch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's somebody dressed up as the Grinch in the style of Jim Carrey's Grinch.
So they did that one.
Yes, they did. A lot of the animated ones were, I think. Oh, what was the? I'm gonna kick myself. There was the Grinch that was voiced by Benedict Cumberbatch.
Okay. Oh. Is that like was that like the Illumination animated one, like the newer one?
Yes, that was the Illumination animation, yeah.
Okay. Because I was gonna say, if I remember correctly, most of like the animated, like the computer, like newer 3D computer animated Dr. Seuss movies are either DreamWorks or Illumination. Like
Yeah.
Horton Hears a Who and
The Lorax,
Lorax.
yeah.
Yeah. Which also Horton Hears a Who, wasn't that another Jim Carrey one? Steve Carell was the Who, but wasn't the elephant Jim Carrey in that? I think. And the Lorax was Danny DeVito.
Yes, the Lorax was Danny DeVito. And Horton, the elephant, was voiced by none other than Jim Carrey.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought.
Yep.
That's what all right.
I believe so. Let me fact check that real quick.
While you're doing that, circling back to the animated classics, I do believe that there was
Jim Carrey was Horton, and the mayor was voiced by Steve Carell. Yeah.
Yep. Anyways, I was gonna say I do believe that there is a animated Christmas special based off your favorite Christmas song, "Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer."
Yes, there sure was a movie based on that song.
There was definitely a cartoon. I think they aired it on Cartoon Network a lot actually during their like weekend movies around this time of year. Speaking of which, I think there was an Alvin and the Chipmunks Christmas special.
I believe so. If not, I know that they had an entire Christmas album dedicated to Alvin and the Chipmunks Christmas.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, they had their own Christmas album.
Yep.
Which, funny enough, so did South Park, although it was all joke songs.
Right.
But yeah, it was. They did have one.
Yeah, they did.
You know, dreidel, 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 I made you out of clay. And you know, Mr. Hanky,
the Christmas poo. Okay. Don't be scared, he comes from you.
Yes. If we're talking about like TV sitcom animated TV sitcom Christmas specials, though, my favorite will always be the Brian and Stewie Family Guy episode "Road to the North Pole," where Stewie goes to confront Santa, and they find out that he's basically just like on his deathbed because he can't keep up with production anymore. It's a good one. It's an hour-long special. The DVD version is even longer with extended scenes, and it's got 2 great songs in it. It's by far one of my favorites. Do you have any favorite episodes of a TV show that's not, it's not a Christmas show, but they have Christmas episodes? They have a Christmas special in there somewhere.
I can't think of any off the top of my head.
Did Supernatural do one?
I don't think so. I don't think they did. They might have.
I'm gonna rapid fire.
They might have. I'm not sure.
I'm gonna rapid fire through a list here. Just stop me if any of these.
I know The Big Bang Theory did a few Christmas episodes.
They did. So I'm going to rapid fire through a quick list here. Just stop me if any of these sound familiar to you. So,
okay.
Friends, Season 7, Episode 10, the one with the holiday armadillo. Mad Men.
I have not gotten that far into Friends yet, so I have not seen that episode yet. So, there's that.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Like I said, just stop me if any of them sound familiar. I'm just going to go through them quickly.
Right.
Mad Men, Season 5, Episode 10, Christmas Waltz. The Office, Season 2, Episode 10, Christmas Party. Ted Lasso.
Oh, that one was good.
Okay, you seen that one? Okay.
Yep. Sarah and I have been watching a lot of The Office. doing like virtual watch parties and shit.
Okay.
Yeah, we've made it. We're in season 3 of The Office now. So yeah, I did see that one. That one was actually pretty funny, and
All
very
right.
cringe,
Of
as
course.
as most of the episodes are.
Yeah, it's that style of humor.
Mm-hmm.
Very dry.
Yeah.
Ted Lasso season 2 episode 4 Carol of the Bells.
Mm-hmm.
How I Met Your Mother season 2 episode 11 How Lily Stole Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
You seen that one or
No. No,
okay?
I'm
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure
yeah.
if you'd seen How I Met Your Mother or not.
No, I have not seen that show.
Okay. I hear a lot of people say it's like really really good, like better than Friends. So,
I've heard some good things about it, especially with Neil Patrick Harris.
mhm. Let's see, Gilmore Girls season 2 episode 10, the Bracebridge Dinner, or Doctor
Uh-huh.
Who: A Christmas Carol, a 2010 special. My
Okay.
Crazy Ex-Girlfriend season 1 episode 8. The episode is called My Mom, Greg's Mom, and Josh's Sweet Dance Moves.
Oh Jesus. Okay.
Lizzie McGuire season 2 episode 20, Extreme Xmas.
Okay. I loved Lizzie McGuire growing up. Absolutely fucking loved it. I can't remember
Okay.
the episode in detail, but I do remember that one.
Okay. The X-Files season 6 episode 6, How the Ghost Stole Christmas. Ooh,
Okay.
New Girl season 1 episode 9, the 23rd.
Mhm.
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia season 6 episode 13, A Very Sunny Christmas. I forgot about that one.
Okay.
Yeah, that's definitely up there.
Yes.
Let's see. Boy Meets World season 5 episode 11, A Very Topanga Christmas.
Again, I loved Boy Meets World when I was growing up. I remember the episode, but I don't remember in detail.
Ooh, okay, here's a good one. The Black Mirror episode White Christmas. Now this I'm going to stop on because this is actually the episode that got me into the show. I didn't start at the
Okay.
beginning, and I'm glad I didn't because the very, very first episode of that show in the very first season is not a great introduction to it.
Fair.
So what happened was Dylan messaged me on Netflix and he's like, "Yo, you got to watch the Black Mirror episode White Christmas. It's got John
He
Hamm in
messaged
it."
you on Netflix?
on Facebook. You know what? In the future, maybe. But like, and maybe someone's listening to this podcast from a smart fridge in Best Buy, or
Maybe.
this Facebook post brought to you by my thermostat.
Right.
Oh. So anyways, so Dylan messages me on Facebook and he's like, you gotta watch this episode of Black Mirror called White Christmas. It's got John Hamm in it and it's a lot like Soma. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I get to watching it and like there's this part where this lady basically has a clone, a copy of her consciousness made, and that consciousness is uploaded into a home security device. And that version of her that's in that home security device is like thinks that she's the real version of her and that she's been trapped inside this thing, but she's just a copy. And it's like really fucked up because she basically made a clone of herself with the idea of turning it into a home appliance. Like,
Oh, jeez.
yeah, Black Mirror is really, really messed up. It's like basically a sci-fi horror thriller show about the dangers of technology.
Fair.
Um,
Okay.
Yeah, like there's this one episode where your survival is based on your social media stats. Like if you get too many dislikes, you will be publicly executed.
Oh, jeez.
Like it's great. It's a fucking great show. You would love
All
it.
right.
It's like a modern day Twilight Zone. Like all of the horror is based on technology and sci-fi shit.
Okay.
So, but yeah, Black Mirror White Christmas, that's a great one to start with. There was an episode of Lost called The Constant, episode of Community called Abed's Uncontrollable Christmas. Oh, an episode of Seinfeld called The Strike.
I was never a big fan of Seinfeld. He's got some really dry humor, and it's
yeah.
whenever my mom would go to her classes at Rock Valley, my uncle Kevin, rest in peace, would come over and he would keep an eye on my brother and I, and he would just take over the TV in the living room, and all he would watch was Seinfeld. I'm like, that's where I got that's where I watched a majority of my of Seinfeld. I'm like, I don't think that this is funny.
So, next one in line is season 2, episode 10 of Glee, A Very Glee Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Season 4, Will and Grace, Jingle Balls.
Oh, that's fitting. That's a fitting title for that show.
yeah, that's a very horny show.
Very.
The Mindy Project, season 2, episode 11, Christmas Party Sex Trap.
Okay.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer, season 3, episode 10, Amends.
Okay.
Downton Abbey, Christmas at Downton Abbey was just a special.
Mm-hmm.
The OC, the best Christmasica ever.
Okay.
Blackish, Black Santa, White Christmas, season 1, episode 10.
All right.
30 Rock, Christmas special, season 3, episode 6. 30 Rock, that's the one with Tina Fey and Alec Baldwin.
Yeah.
All recorded in the same studio as SNL.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically about what it's like to work at that studio.
Makes
more or
sense.
less. It's like a fourth wall breaking thing.
Right.
Abbott Elementary, that's a newer show. Holiday Hookah, season 2, episode 10.
Okay.
The Bear, that's a new one too.
Sure is.
Fishes,
yes,
season 2, episode 6.
That's on my list of shows to watch on Hulu. That is definitely up there because Jeremy Allen White was in one of my all-time favorite shows, Shameless. Shout out. But you know, he's become one of my favorite actors since watching Shameless.
So that was just a quick fire list of some of the best Christmas specials. And of course, we can't forget the Peanuts Christmas special.
Oh,
the one
yeah,
with
no,
the
can't
Whippy,
forget the
Whippy Little Tree.
Mm-hmm, cannot forget good old Charlie Brown.
Yes, of course.
It's always fun.
All right. Let's talk Christmas movies. This is the big one.
I have an idea.
First of all, let's get something out of the way real quick before anything else.
Okay.
Die Hard, Christmas movie or not?
No. And I know that's a hot take.
I agree.
That's a hot take because here's my thing. I am a Christmas fanatic. And from what I was able to gather from Die Hard, it takes place on Christmas. It is missing all of the elements that your normal traditional Christmas movie has. Like they've got the main focus of the movie is supposed to be Christmas, whether it be something like here's an example, one of my all-time favorite Christmas classics, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. There's that. There's also I'm gonna wrap it.
That poor cat.
I know, right? I'm going to rapid fire a list of examples. Let's see. A Christmas Story. How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Let's see. Four Christmases was another really good one. That's not a classic, but that's another example of a Christmas movie.
But yeah, I agree with you. I love the movie. It's a classic, but not a Christmas.
No, definitely not a Christmas movie. And we can't have this topic. We cannot have this topic without talking about Nightmare Before Christmas.
Of course.
Love it.
You know, I think, Nightmare Before Christmas makes a great Halloween or Christmas movie. A great anytime movie, really.
Absolutely.
But, as far as
Yes.
holiday specific. It's interchangeable.
Mm-hmm.
What is another greatly debated? Is it a Christmas movie or not?
Hmm.
Is Tim Burton's Batman Returns?
Okay.
Um,
I don't think I ever seen I don't think I ever saw that one. Maybe I have. I don't. Who's the villain in that one?
um, that's the one with Catwoman in it.
Nope, I don't think I ever saw that one. That's Michael Keaton's Batman, right?
It might be. I'm
Okay.
trying to remember. I'm pulling out my memory banks here. Let's see. It came out in 1992,
Okay.
and it was it Keaton? I can't remember. It might have been. Penguin. I think Penguin was the villain in this one. The Danny DeVito
I
Penguin
did see
was the
bits and
villain in this.
pieces of that when I was younger.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. This was the one with Penguin.
Okay.
I think that's why. I think that's what. Yeah, because I'm looking at the trailer now, and if you look, they got there's snow all over Gotham. They got Christmas trees decorating the streets and shit, and there's Penguin has actual penguins working for him.
Mhm.
So yeah, and there's Batman pops out of a giant present. They did a lot of Christmassy shit with it. Again, though, I. I don't know if that means it's a Christmas movie.
No,
necessarily.
it's all in all a superhero movie.
That just happens to take place at Christmas
Yes.
time, right? Because when you muddy those waters, you could technically say that the Disney Plus show Hawkeye is a Christmas show because it takes place at Christmas.
Mhm.
Like, um, quite literally, New York has the giant ass Christmas tree downtown,
That-
and there's a whole fight surrounding it in one of the
And
episodes.
if I'm not mistaken, if I could be wrong, I think they have it listed under the holiday collection on Disney Plus.
Yeah, just because it takes place around that time. See, I think when it comes to holiday stuff, you have your solidified Christmas movies where Christmas is the main theme.
Yeah.
But then you also have what I'm gonna call Christmas adjacent movies, movies that aren't Christmas themed, but they take place at Christmas time.
Yes.
So watching them around that time still feels right because the image on the screen matches the one in real life. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So it still kind of fits in a way. But yeah, I separate them that way too.
No,
I think that Die Hard is an outlier though, in that it is neither a Christmas nor Christmas adjacent movie, and that it is just an action movie that takes place on Christmas.
I want to pull something out of my back pocket here real quick, and I know this might be a hot take, but
Okay.
This movie came out 20 years ago, and I would consider it a classic because it came out so long ago. But it came out, yeah, Will Ferrell's Elf.
Yeah, well, when I think Christmas movies, that's probably one of the first ones that come to mind.
Buddy
frankly.
the Elf. And fun fact about this movie, one of the elves in the workshop is played by none other than, I forget the dude's name, but I know him as Ralphie from A Christmas Story.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he made a cameo in that movie. I thought that was pretty cool.
You shoot your eye out and all that.
I love that movie so much. Also, the most one of my most anticipated Christmas movies that came out a couple years ago. It was a direct continuation of A Christmas Story. It was and it premiered on at the time it was HBO Max before Max changed their name. You know, the one to watch. A Christmas Story Christmas. Majority of the cast came back to reprise their roles, and there was some heavy stuff in this movie, and there was a lot of callbacks to I triple dog dare ya. No, there was a lot of callbacks, and there was towards the beginning there was a bit of an emotional upset. I would call um one of the main characters from the original movie is no longer with us. I think actually in real life too.
Okay.
Hmm.
Remind me, did Dumb and Dumber take place on Christmas?
Ooh, ooh, that's a good
I
question.
see. I seem to remember
I
snowy
don't
mountains at the end of the movie,
I
but
don't
that could have just been
remember.
like where they were.
I don't remember.
Hmm. Did you ever see the Netflix animated movie Klaus? Klaus, Klaus. I heard good things about it. I haven't seen
No,
it.
but I am going to piggyback off that and talk about the Christmas Chronicles movies.
Oh, okay.
The Christmas Chronicles movies, oh man, Christmas Chronicles 1 and 2 are both Netflix original movies. Great, great movies. Edge of your seat, action packed. Love every second of both of them.
Okay, I have not seen these.
These are
I'll have
good,
to.
and I highly recommend them to anybody who loves a good Christmas movie.
Have you ever seen the Seth Rogen comedy The Night Before?
Yes, I have, and I love it.
I do believe. I do believe that counts.
Now, I'm gonna also mention this. This one's a Hanukkah themed movie, but it's a holiday movie, and I can't go without talking about Eight Crazy Nights.
Oh yeah, the Adam Sandler one.
Yes, I love it. Love it. One of my all-time favorite holiday movies.
Yeah, such a weird movie.
So funny.
Do you remember the Michael Keaton family Christmas comedy Jack Frost, where he turns into a snowman?
Yes, I
was
do
a
remember
WB
that movie. I loved that. That was actually a bit of a tearjerker for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jack Frost was really good. I loved it. In fact, I think I might
Oh,
have it on DVD somewhere.
Love Actually was a Christmas movie?
Yeah, actually, believe it or not, that was a Love Actually was a Christmas movie. I've never seen it, but I do know that for a fact it is a Christmas movie. Another
Okay.
Christmas movie. It's got Ryan Reynolds in it. It's called Just Friends.
Oh, yep. I
That
actually
was
saw
another
that.
really good Christmas movie. It's so funny.
I saw that on the list I was looking at here. Came out in
Mm-hmm.
2005.
Yep, sure did.
Um, let's see. Jingle All the Way, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
And then you got Jingle All the Way 2 with Larry the Cable Guy.
Deck
That
the
was actually
Halls,
Deck
the
the
Matthew
Halls
Broderick.
With Danny DeVito and Matthew Broderick. Yep.
Yep,
Another really
yep.
good one was Christmas with the Cranks with Jamie Lee
Mm-hmm.
Curtis and Tim Allen.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And then
Um,
okay, speaking of Tim Allen, we can't we can't have this topic without talking about the Santa Claus movies.
of course.
The Santa Claus. And then the series, The Santa Clauses, a Disney Plus original.
Yeah, and Martin Short played Jack Frost in one of these Santa Claus movies, I
He
remember.
did. He did. Yeah, that was the Santa Claus 3, The Escape Clause.
Yep, yep. Do you remember the one where the animation was almost too realistic and it was like Uncanny Valley? Tom Hanks, The Polar Express. That
Yes.
one.
Polar Express. And dude, so
There's like some super massive games level character animation in that
oh
one.
no, absolutely. I want to piggyback off of that and talk about something that Chicago is known for doing something around related to the Polar Express every year around Christmas. I don't know if they're doing it this year, but that is definitely something that eventually at some point I would love to do, but I'm not sure if it'll ever happen. We'll find out. We'll see. We'll
So,
see.
would you consider Edward Scissorhands a Christmas movie?
No.
Really?
No, I would not.
Interesting, because I thought that Christmas played a big role in that movie.
but it's not the it's not the main focus of the movie.
Well, here's what the description that in the like in this list I'm reading of like 60 movies that they consider Christmas movies, they have this one in here, and their reasoning, the what it says here is Johnny Depp's pale, leather-suited, scissor-handed Edward stands out from the colorful suburban Christmas time landscape of Tim Burton's 1990 fantasy, although his story is one that ultimately proves perfectly in tune with the season's spirit of open-hearted inclusiveness.
Okay, I could be. It's it's been so long since I've seen Edward Scissorhands, so I could be wrong.
I think the spirit is there. It doesn't follow the Christmas movie formula if you're talking about your cliche Christmas movie formula.
No,
but I think the spirit of Christmas is there.
I can agree with that.
If Nightmare Before Christmas is a Christmas movie, then this too, I think, might be.
Okay, yeah, that's
you know
fair.
what I mean?
Yeah.
That one I can give a pass in like a heavy Christmas. There's an overlap on that one.
Can't forget the Christmas horror movie Black Christmas.
Yeah, so I was gonna say on the topic of Christmas horror movies and even like violent related ones, since you mentioned David Harbour earlier in Gran Turismo, he's actually in a new Christmas action movie called Violent Night.
I need to watch that yet. I have not seen it yet, and I believe it's available on to stream on Amazon Prime, included with Prime.
Okay. I'm down for that. Did one of the seasons of Stranger Things take place around Christmas time?
I'm gonna be honest, I have not gotten far enough into Stranger Things to confirm or deny that.
I know you said you watched the first 2 seasons.
I can't remember. It was so long ago.
Well, maybe it's just I'm thinking because in the first season, Will's mother uses Christmas lights to communicate with him between worlds.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking of, I think.
Okay.
That's got me thinking it. For some reason, I always just associate snow with Christmas, too. So, like, if there's snow in it, I'm like, it's a Christmas movie.
No, right.
Yeah, that's not entirely true.
No.
Oh, a very Harold and Kumar Christmas.
Yes, that is another really good one. Let's see.
Christmas comedy.
Yes.
Well, you were sleeping. I don't know about that one, but Gremlins. I count Gremlins as a Christmas movie because it's very like it's a Christmas horror movie.
Okay, I guess I can agree with that. Yeah, no, because you're right. No, you're right. Because in the very beginning, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, there was he goes into that shop and gets the gremlin.
The Mogwai is literally a Christmas gift.
Yeah, Mogwai. Gizmo is literally a Christmas gift.
Yeah, Gizmo, his species is called a Mogwai. They turn into gremlins.
Mogwai!
That's the... Yep, yeah, he was a Christmas gift. So yeah, Gremlins is a Christmas horror movie, and yeah, it's definitely a horror movie, even if it's a family-friendly one.
Yeah.
It's, like, they kill that old lady by throwing her out the window.
That was... That poor lady, I swear.
Did American Pie ever have a Christmas special?
I don't.
They probably did.
American Pie?
They had everything. They probably did.
I don't recall. I don't.
Was Sleepless in Seattle a Christmas movie, or is that just a rom-com?
I think that's just a rom-com.
Okay, fair enough. I'll give you that. I think it just ends on Christmas.
Yeah. Oh, another really good one. And I watched this a couple years ago. It's got Kristen Stewart in it.
Oh, okay.
Hold on. This was actually really good. It's called The Happiest Season. A holiday
Oh, I've
a
heard that.
holiday
I've heard of that.
romantic comedy that captures the range of emotions tied to wanting your family's acceptance, being true to yourself, and trying not to ruin Christmas.
Yep, I've heard of that one.
It is
They actually gave it
it's
a review on a podcast I listened to a few years ago.
It's so good. And it's got, let's see, who else is in it? Kristen Stewart, Mackenzie Davis, Mary Steinberger, Victor Garber, Allison Brie. Aubrey Plaza is in this.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I've got a few more big ones here that you're going to kick yourself when you realize we haven't even mentioned them yet.
Oh, go for it.
Muppets Christmas Carol.
Oh, dude, yep. How could I forget?
Home Alone.
Yup. Mm-hmm. Oh, I absolutely love the Home Alone movies, and I can't believe I didn't mention them earlier because Macaulay Culkin just got his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and there was a reunion that happened with that.
Yeah, the actress that played his mom in the movies was
there. Catherine O'Hara.
Yep, that's the one. Yep, I couldn't
She
remember.
was there in support of him for his Hollywood Walk of Fame star. That was pretty cool.
I know you know this one. Bad Santa.
Oh, yes. I watched both of those, actually, not too long ago.
Bad Santa, yep. Miracle on
Billy
34th
Bob Thornton.
Street. Yes. Miracle on 34th Street, like a older classic movie, but there was a 1994 remake as well. Scrooge, 1988, Bill Murray movie. Let's see. Oh, White Christmas, that's an old one.
Yes.
And of course, you mentioned Christmas Story, Christmas Vacation, and of course, It's a Wonderful Life, the 1946 classic that gets spoofed in everything. That's where the phrase "Every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings." Is
every
from.
Was it?
Yeah, every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings. It's also famous for
an angel gets his wings.
It's also famous for the scene where he's about to jump off the bridge at the end until like the angel or the apparition or whatever comes and speaks to him. And
I would be at a loss.
It had Jimmy Stewart. It was starring Jimmy Stewart.
I'd be at a loss if I didn't mention the very last movie that was put out with Robin Williams in it, titled Merry Friggin' Christmas.
Oh, okay.
This one was really good, actually. He was in it. And it came out...
I had never even heard of that.
It came out in 2014, the year the man died.
So, we mentioned Christmas horror movies earlier. I just wanted to circle back and talk about Black Xmas, the 2006 horror movie.
Yeah, that was Black Christmas. Yeah, the one that I had mentioned.
Okay, yeah. Yep. And Krampus, the 2015 horror movie.
Krampus.
There was also a 2019 version of Black Christmas.
There was a lot of versions of that.
Christmas Bloody Christmas came out in 2022. That's one.
Okay, I'd never heard of that one.
Stranger in the House from 1974. Anna and the Apocalypse from 2017. Red Christmas 2016. It's a Wonderful Knife 2023.
Okay. I can't forget about... Okay, so I know we talked about...
Silent Night in 2012. It's got a picture of Santa with a flamethrower.
I want to see this, but I don't know if it's streaming anywhere. There was a horror version of Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas titled The Mean One.
Oh, they're about to do a kill count for that on Dead Meat this week.
I want to see this movie so badly.
There was also a horror version of Jack Frost where he turns into an evil snowman and
There
kills
sure
people.
was, yeah.
1997. Yep. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And when people went to the video store to rent the not horror one for their kids, they accidentally grabbed the wrong
Oops.
one. More often than not.
Oops.
I think I want to mention the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special on Disney Plus.
Yes.
The Mantis and Drax team up story.
Mm-hmm. And where we find out that Mantis is Peter Quill's sister.
Yes, that was a good one.
Mm-hmm.
What about the DreamWorks movie Rise of the Guardians, where Jack Frost, Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, Father Time, and all them have to work together?
Yes. Yep.
You count that?
I've seen it. It's so good.
Okay. My Broken Horse Christmas. I forgot about that one. Was it the an Ernest Christmas special at one point?
Ernest Saves Christmas. I am kicking myself right now. God damn. Holy shit. I can't believe I forgot about that. Oh, that's one of my all-time favorite Christmas movies.
There's so many holiday specials of everything. I guarantee you every single cartoon we watched as a kid had at least one Christmas episode.
I know there was
SpongeBob, Rugrats, all the Cartoon Network shit. You know?
Yep. iCarly even had some. I know Zoe 101 had a couple Christmas episodes maybe.
Did you mentioned Christmas with the Cranks earlier? Yeah.
Yeah, Christmas with the Cranks.
Yeah, you mentioned that. Okay. We mentioned Deck the Halls too. What would Arthur Christmas 2011 movie? Forgot about that.
Another one was Fred Claus with Vince Vaughn and Paul Giamatti.
Yes. Yep. Okay, I remember that one too.
Mm-hmm.
And then wasn't there a 3D animated version of the Ebenezer Scrooge movie with Jim Carrey in it?
Yes. That was actually done by Disney.
So you want to know my favorite iteration of the Ebenezer Scrooge story is actually the one with where Scrooge McDuck from the Mickey Mouse cartoons plays him, and Mickey Mouse is Bob Cratchit, and Goofy is like the Goofy is the Grim Reaper, the ghost of the future.
That's a fun one though. That's a really fun one.
Yeah, I really like it. I really like that one. And Tiny Tim,
I'd have to say that my favorite iteration of that story would have to be. I know we mentioned it earlier, but A Muppet's Christmas Carol with Michael Caine as the role of Ebenezer Scrooge.
Yeah, Michael Caine is great in everything he's in.
Absolutely, he is.
I'm getting tired of your shit, Master Wayne. He was also great in Now You See Me.
Yes, he was. He was in both of those.
Is Frozen a Christmas movie, or is that just snow?
That's just snow. There's no Christmas in any. I don't think there's Christmas in either of those.
You know what though? They released it around the holidays on purpose to fit in with the snow theme.
Yeah,
so
they did.
There is that.
Yeah.
I guess you could say the spirit of it is there because they do shit with snowmen and there's a message about love and shit, but it's a Disney formula.
I'd be amiss if I didn't mention Beauty and the Beast: The Enchanted Christmas.
Yes, they did have a straight-up Christmas special.
Yes, they did. And that wasn't just a special. That was a straight-up sequel.
That was a whole-ass movie.
It was. It was a sequel.
Yeah, I remember when Disney did those, straight-to-video sequels.
Mm-hmm.
The first ones came out in theaters, and then parts 2 and 3 just went straight to VHS.
Yeah.
They did that with Little Mermaid 2 and Aladdin 2 and 3, and yeah.
Yep. Lion King 2, and then Lion King 1.5.
Was there any other... I'm trying to think if there was any other, holiday special Disney stuff that was, specifically... There has to be. They're
Disney's notorious.
I'm drawing a blank.
Oh, if we're talking about Disney, and I'm veering off the realm of movies for just a second, every year around Christmas... the Disney parks have their Christmas themed events. They call it Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. And I've been a couple of times, and every year they have like different spots where if you buy the tickets for specifically for the event, there is spots where you can get either free hot cocoa or free hot cider and gingerbread cookies throughout the park. It's so
nice.
much fun to go to.
Yes.
You,
Comrade Mickey Mousekowitz.
yes. And then they've got their Christmas parade at the end, towards the end of the night.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump a little strange too, and I'm gonna list off a couple of off the top of my head video games or video game levels that are Christmas themed. The games, there aren't very many like Christmas themed video games per se,
Right.
but there are several ones where the spirit of it is there. They're like Christmas adjacent.
Mhm.
Like it has a overwhelming presence in the narrative.
Mhm.
And I would say that the first two that come immediately to mind is Batman Arkham Origins
Okay.
and Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Yes.
Miles Morales definitely takes place around Christmas time, and like Christmas is all over the goddamn
Oh, it
city
really
in that
is.
game.
No,
Like,
absolutely. I agree.
it's pretty in your face about
Mhm.
it. So I kind of like, and Batman Arkham Origins famously takes place at Christmas. There's like one scene in that game where Batman and Joker are like, he like grabs the Joker and jumps out the window with him. And they're like fighting in midair as they fall into a big Christmas tree. And as they're fighting, there's like a like kind of like beefed up action version of dun 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 playing
Mhm.
while they're fighting.
Okay.
You know, so it kind of like leans into the Christmas theme there a little
Mhm.
bit. So I think that's kind of cool when they do that. And like we said earlier, you know, like Die Hard isn't a Christmas movie, but it does things where it leans into the Christmas shit sometimes. Like when he sends that guard down the elevator and he puts the note on him and it says, "Now I have a machine gun, ho ho ho." You know, it's just stuff like that. And it does that kind of like remixed Christmas music to be more action-y type thing sometimes too. So those are always fun.
Now,
And then there's been like some video games I've played, like Kingdom Hearts 2. You get to go to Halloween Town again, but this time you get to visit Christmas Town
Okay.
too. And when you play the HD remaster of it, since it's based off the Japanese Final Mix
Mhm.
version, your costumes change in Christmas Town to be more Christmas themed. So in
Okay.
Halloween Town. In Halloween Town, Sora's got a pumpkin mask, Donald is a mummy, and Goofy looks like a Frankenstein monster. But when you go to Christmas Town, Sora's got a Santa hat, Donald is a snowman, and Goofy's a reindeer.
okay.
So they switch it up. Yeah, so I think that's
I'm gonna
pretty
come out of
cool,
pocket again.
when they do that.
WWE every year they have their holiday show for live television. They have a Christmas themed match, and the stipulation they call it the Miracle on 34th Street fight.
Okay.
Yeah, it's actually pretty fucking cool every year that they do it. It's really interesting.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So, Christmas music, then. Let's talk about that a little bit. I can't say I'm the biggest fan of the traditional Christmas music, plus where I'm working now, I hear it on the radio all the time.
Tell you what, there's a few different artists that I have here that have done original Christmas music. Like Seth MacFarlane, you mentioned earlier. I
Yep.
mentioned Scotty McCreery.
Seth MacFarlane has a whole ass Christmas album, I think.
He does, and I have that here on my phone. James Durbin did. So I don't know if this is an original, but this is the first time I've ever heard this song, and it is called "It's Just Not Christmas Without You," and it came out holiday season of 2018. It came out November 23rd, to be exact, of 2018. Scotty McCreery, one of my all-time favorite country artists. Uh, he's got actually a few original Christmas songs. He's got Christmas in Heaven, Christmas Coming Around Again was an original. And then more recent, another original song that those three songs that I mentioned, or those two songs that I just mentioned, Christmas in Heaven and Christmas Coming Around Again, those came out on his very first Christmas album, which was released in 2012. This next one was actually released October 20th this year, and it's another Scotty McCreery song, and it's titled "Feel Like the Holidays." We've got none other than Bon Jovi with I wish every day could be like Christmas." That's one of my all-time favorite Christmas songs. Uh, oh, 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 oh. Okay, so this song it's a country song, but if you know the humor of Larry the Cable Guy, it is by a country duo by the name of Montgomery Gentry. Well, like I said, if you know the humor of Larry the Cable Guy, you could easily compare this song to what the stories that Larry tells about his family. And this song is called Merry Christmas from the Family.
Oh shit, speaking of Larry the Cable Guy, okay, so it's not like an animated special or anything, but there is
Mm-mm.
a kids book based off the Cars movies called
Mm-hmm.
Mater Saves Christmas. Um
Okay.
and there's a video on YouTube where someone reads it aloud. It's only like 10 minutes long, um but yeah, there have been, and before I forget, I think now that I asked earlier about like animated like Disney Christmas specials and stuff, I'm pretty sure
Mm.
Toy Story had one. Toy
I
Story had a
think
Christmas
they
special.
I think they did. I'm not
Yes, it was called Toy Story That Time Forgot. Came out in 2014.
okay. I completely forgot about that one.
As the title would imply.
Right.
It's available on Disney Plus and Prime Video.
Okay.
Yeah, they also had a lot of children's books that were based on it, like Toy Story Christmas Toys, Merry Christmas Woody, a few other things.
Okay. Um, there's another uh artist. This song came out in 2013. Her name is Angie Miller. She was on season 11 of American Idol. No, wait. I could No, season 12. It's titled This Christmas Song. It is an Angie Miller original. It's actually I wouldn't necessarily say it's one of my top favorites, but it's up there. It's actually pretty good. And then you got Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays by NSYNC. And then the most controversial Christmas song of all time, where that you can't go anywhere around the holidays without hearing it at least 7 or 8, 9 fucking times. All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey.
Yeah. Yeah, I was looking at a list too. It looks like there's a lot of artists that have done original Christmas songs,
Mm-hmm.
like Bing Crosby, Snow Patrol, a few others. I have some more unconventional tastes in my holiday music, and it like a perfect example is epic rap battles of history, Santa versus Moses.
So
Featuring Snoop Dogg. It's not the only Christmas one they've done, but it's the best one for
there's
sure.
actually a Christmas metal album that I'd like to talk about. Ryan, if you're listening, uh, the Halford 3 Winter Songs by Rob Halford, the lead singer of Judas Priest. That was he's got songs like We Three Kings, What Child Is This, Christmas for Everyone, Oh Holy Night, and Come All Ye Faithful. And then Twisted Sister actually did a Christmas album. Twisted Sister did their Christmas album, a Twisted Christmas. Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, Oh Come All Ye Faithful, White Christmas, I'll Be Home for Christmas. And I think they even had an original on here called We Wish You a Twisted Christmas. That was pretty cool.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
To keep going with what I was saying, besides that unconventional Christmas song, I'm also a big fan of the two songs from. I mentioned Family Guy's Road to the North Pole earlier. There's two songs in that episode.
Okay.
All I want for Christmas and Christmas Time is Killing Us.
Yes.
And I think they're both great.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're both great. Like really well done
Yes.
songs. I also that channel I listen to, Game Chops on YouTube, where they have a live stream of lo-fi remixes of video game music 24/7 and even some more songs.
Mm-hmm.
They've done lo-fi remixes of popular Christmas songs too, like Jingle Bells and Deck the Halls and stuff like that. It's the same kind of like instrumental kind of like more, you know how that lo-fi music is.
Yeah.
Kind of like chillax stuff. So yeah, they've done lo-fi remixes of Christmas music, and they have a whole digital album on there that I like listening to.
Okay.
Around this time of year sometimes too. And they throw those around this time of year, they tend to throw those mixes in their live stream too. So it'll be like a few tracks from video games, and then suddenly you'll hear like a Christmas tune, in their mix. So
Yeah.
so that's pretty cool.
Okay.
I also a lot of times, like when the family gets together for Christmas, we'll usually pull up like a burning log on the TV, like a live stream that's on YouTube or something, like one of those continuous. It's just like 4 hours of a burning log, but it's also got like instrumental Christmas music playing kind of low. It's no lyrics or nothing, but it's just like,
There's
maybe
actually
like a jazz rendition or something.
There's something like that on Disney Plus. It's the Arendelle Yule log fireplace thing from Frozen.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I actually put it on the first year Disney Plus was a thing for Christmas, and it was actually pretty cool. But since you had mentioned that there's some things that you usually do with your family, I think that would
one more thing before that. I just want to say every year SNL has a Christmas episode or two.
Yes.
They will often have like at least one or two. This year, I think I mentioned it earlier, Adam Driver hosted last week, and they did a mostly Christmas themed episode with him. His opening monologue was all about his letter to Santa. It was pretty funny, and they had some Christmas skits, like family gatherings and stuff. There was a really good one about everyone coming over to the person's house for Christmas dinner. Like they were all hanging out for like a Friendsgiving, but for Christmas. And Adam Driver was like the dad in the house, and people kept getting in his way when he was trying to put food on the table. So he'd be like, "Oh, excuse me, beep beep, coming through," and and then one of the friends comes over, and he goes to put some food on the table, and they both beep beep each other at the same time, and it becomes like a Mexican standoff. And excuse me, I said beep beep. He's like, this is my house, and I said beep beep.
That's funny as shit.
Yeah,
okay,
it's great. Yeah, they have stuff like that, and then tomorrow, because this is totally still Friday,
right.
Kate McKinnon is returning to host their actual Christmas special.
Okay.
So that should be good, because Kate McKinnon, I always saw her as kind of like Kristen Wiig Part 2, is kind of gave me similar vibes, but a little bit different. And then they ended up weren't they both in that Ghostbusters reboot together?
Yes.
And Leslie Jones, who is also from SNL.
We don't talk about that Ghostbusters movie. We don't talk about that movie. We just don't.
But yeah, my point is every year they have like a Christmas special, and actually like SNL has built up so many holiday themed skits that they have I think you can find them on Peacock. They have curated episodes that are basically just clip shows of all their most popular holiday skits. So they have one for Halloween, one for Thanksgiving, one for Christmas. So they have like one where it's like going back from all the way back to like the old episodes to now,
like with Bill Murray,
and everything in between. Yeah, so like their Christmas one has like Adam Sandler's Hanukkah song on it, for example.
Okay, all right.
Because he did that on SNL.
Yes.
I think was when he first did that.
That is exactly where that debuted. Yes, as SNL, the Hanukkah song.
Yeah, so basically, you would see skits as new as like Andy Samberg and Justin Timberlake's "Dick in a Box." That's a Christmas song, technically.
Fun fact, real quick. I know. Still talking about Adam Sandler's the Hanukkah song. From my understanding, whenever he does his like live stand-up shows, he makes it a point to sing the Hanukkah song at each and every show.
Makes sense.
And at each and every show, he has a special guest, a special surprise guest. But he's at every show. Rob Schneider. He brings him with everywhere. He brings Rob with him everywhere to all of his stand-up shows.
As long as he remembers to feed him.
Right. Because Rob's not he's just as tall as Kevin Hart. He needs his vitamins.
Yeah. No, I was thinking more like I was making more of a he's Adam's pet joke, but yeah.
Oh yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, like
I went
Mr.
a little
Garrison
far with
and
that.
Mr. Garrison and Mr. Slave.
Oh. I can't. Oh. Lemmy Winks.
Oh God, yeah.
Okay.
So, you wanted to talk about memories.
Yes. Okay. So the first memory that comes to mind, back when one of the local radio stations here in Rockford changed their name from Light 103 to B103, I don't remember how old I was, but I remember calling in and answering this question correctly. And the question was, what is the name of Gaston's henchman? And I was the first person to call in and guess correctly. And I won a limited edition, or maybe one of a kind, Christmas ornament. And it was it's a gold Christmas ornament of a silhouette of Beast holding the rose, and it is currently hanging up on the Christmas tree out in the living room as we speak. I still have it. I still have it. Yeah.
My Christmases have always been pretty normal for the most part, but there is one standout thing I remember from when we went out to Ryan and Carissa's place one year. It had nothing to do with me, but bearing witness to this was a pretty cool memory. Just to see, like, it's one of those faith in humanity restored moments. And it was, I believe Ryan's OG model Switch was not working right anymore for some reason. I can't remember what the problem with it was, but he had a friend who is good at this kind of stuff come look at it, see if he could fix it. And this guy says, I gotta run to Best Buy to get some parts. I'll be back. And the man comes back with a brand new Switch for him as a Christmas gift.
Oh shit, that's awesome.
Yeah, that was like something pretty cool to bear witness to.
Okay.
And I will mention, like, throughout the years, some of my favorite gifts that I've ever gotten have been, like, obviously I enjoy, like, the movies and the games and cool stuff like that, but it's the custom-made stuff that really tends to stand out the most.
Oh, yeah.
And
no, absolutely.
that would be, like, you've seen my Oversoul branded color-changing light.
Yeah.
Ryan and Carissa had that custom ordered on Etsy. You've seen
that's
my
cool.
glass display of Kingdom Hearts Keyblades. That was handmade by them.
Nice.
And I also have this framed Assassin's Creed collage picture hanging in my room that my mom and brother made one year. I want to say it was either last year or the year before. I think last year, Dalton and Lindsay used actually a Christmas gift that a bunch of us got together and bought for Lindsay one year. This kind of big, like, I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a printer, but for printing designs onto shirts and stuff. And basically they used it to make us all custom shirts with pictures of our pets on them, but they're like animated drawings of the pets. So they took actual pictures of them off Facebook and stuff and scanned them and got them turned into like these animated drawings and had those drawings plastered on the shirts.
Okay.
So, yeah, that kind of stuff always stands out to me as really cool and thoughtful.
Yeah.
I always try to get people stuff off their Amazon wish list.
Fair. Okay. One Christmas memory that comes to mind is actually kind of funny. This was the first Christmas, my first Christmas, after my mom and dad had, split up. And on Christmas morning, my brother and I are at my dad's apartment, and we open up a video game. And the video game was Star Fox Adventures for GameCube. Now, to my knowledge, we didn't have a GameCube. So, first thing that comes out, I don't remember if it was me or my brother that said it, but we're like, you got it for the wrong system. And I had, at that point in time, I didn't know that Star Fox Adventures was a Nintendo exclusive. But the very next thing that we opened was a Nintendo GameCube.
Oh, yeah. Star Fox is, in general, definitely Nintendo.
I did not know that as a kid. I had no idea.
I don't think that's the first time you've told that story on this show either. I think
no, it's not. It's not. But it's a memory from Christmas, and I thought, what better episode to retell that story than this one right here?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I can.
One of my favorite decorations as a kid growing up, I will have to say, was always the train that goes around the base of the Christmas tree.
Oh yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm. I always looked forward to that train getting put up on around the Christmas tree as a kid. Loved it every year. I always got told not to mess with it too.
I remember many a Christmas at my great grandmother's house. That's where we had the tree.
Mm-hmm.
They would always get a real tree, and they would get it from the tree farm down the road,
Mm-hmm.
the Evergreen Farm, and yeah, like your classic, TV scenario,
Mm-hmm.
and I think there was a train a couple of times. There was some years there was a star at the top, some years there was an angel.
Mm-hmm.
But I always remember, because, I was really young for these ones, that tree being tall as hell.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I don't mess with the Christmas tree thing too much anymore because cats.
Yeah. That's when you just get a big cat tree and decorate that.
Yeah. They make it difficult. At the very least, you have to get plastic ornaments because they'll just break the glass ones.
Yep.
Because all they see is shiny ball, you know, like
Exactly.
um but also because like I don't really host the holidays so much anymore. I do like uh I go to either my brother or sister's place, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because they got more room and whatnot. But I do remember that when my great grandpa was still alive, they would always decorate my great grandma's porch. And it's funny because, like, she lived on a house at the top of a long hill on the outskirts of town. So the only people that were ever going to see it were the ones driving down the highway past the house. But they still did it every year. It was tradition.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I know like when you and I first met, you came over and hung out at my house a couple times. Do you remember my dog Schnoodles, the little white furry fluffy dog?
Yes.
Fun story about her. Rest in peace. I miss that dog so much. But the year we got her was around Christmas time, and this was I can't remember what year it was. It was either when I was in second or third grade. Can't remember because I had the same teacher for both years. But this is when I found out Santa wasn't real. I found out at an early age that Santa wasn't real because here's the thing. My mom and dad are like, okay, so you guys looked at my brother and I, and they said, you guys got two options. You guys can either get a puppy, or you guys can get to Christmas presents. And we chose the puppy. So we got to see all of the shit that we were getting for Christmas go back to the store.
Oh wow.
Yeah. That's
a bit
actually
harsh.
No, we got to see all that stuff go back to the store. And I actually that my Schnoodles was she was $350 at Petland when Petland was still around, because they are non-existent anymore. Yeah, I counted out the 300 and then my dad paid the extra 50.
Okay.
Yeah, that dog was a Christmas present. I loved that dog so much. That dog lived a good long life, 16 years.
I feel
And she almost made it. She almost made it to Christmas of 2012 because we ended up having to put her down on Black Friday of 2012.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I feel morally obligated to put a little PSA in here, and I just want to say to the people out there, do not buy people a pet for Christmas unless they want it, unless you know for a fact that they want it, because you are not buying them a gift, you are buying them an obligation.
Pretty much.
Statistically speaking, a lot of pets that are bought as Christmas presents end up being abandoned or returned to the shelter.
Mm-hmm.
So
yes.
Yeah, so yeah, no, don't put that pressure on someone. That's like basically giving someone a kid and saying, "Here, this is yours now. Good luck." You know, like no.
Yeah.
That is a living, breathing creature, not a toy. So,
no.
And it is a lifetime commitment. That
It
animal's
sure is.
whole lifetime. So,
and I practically grew up with that dog, so there's that. And
I feel like, I mean, we joke around a lot on here, but I feel like sometimes it's important to put some of those messages out there.
Oh no, absolutely.
For sure. I cannot stress enough how terrible of an idea that is to give someone an animal as a gift unless you know they want it. In your case, it was your choice. That's different. Was.
Yeah.
That's 100% different. But a surprise puppy is not a gift. It is a...
That's an obligation.
It is a burden.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. If you don't want it, that is a problem. And it is not fair to the animal either.
No, it's not. Definitely not.
But... what are some of your favorite holiday dishes for this time of year? You know, I know
I have
a lot of
one
people
more
just
tradition.
Do
one more tradition that I wanted to mention, and this one's actually pretty fucking funny, because this was something that that when we were still doing family Christmas with my mom's biological side before all of the drama started with them. We would have them over, and it was tradition that at least one present to each individual underneath the wrapping paper before you got to the box was duct tape.
Oh, of course.
There was one year we always called it the duct tape Christmas. But no, there was one year that none of my cousins were involved with this, but my brother had this genius idea to get my mom a gift card for Christmas. But what he did was absolute pure genius. What he did was he wrapped up a weight in a box and then duct taped that box. But the weight wasn't the present. The gift card was under one of the box flaps.
Oh, wow.
It was funny. Everybody got a kick out of it.
Dalton has actually done some joke wrapping like that before.
Okay.
Putting a small gift inside a bigger box, inside a bigger box, inside a bigger box. Kind of like a Russian nesting doll situation.
Okay. That's
yeah,
that's okay. That's cool.
Is either that or like wrap it up so complicated that you basically need a pocket knife to open it.
Right.
So I've seen that before too. There's been some funny ha-has in that department. You actually just got me thinking of something. And now I can't remember what it was anymore, unfortunately.
My grandma, my dad's mom, she doesn't do it anymore, but every year I would look forward to a package in the mail from her with an assortment of homemade Christmas cookies.
Oh.
And my absolute favorite cookies that she did every year was the wreath cookies. She takes cornflakes and she does like marshmallow fluff. Now, these were my mom's favorite cookies that my grandma would make. And they would have the ones that she would make for my mom would have the red hot candies in them for like the berries and shit for like a wreath. But for me, I'm not the biggest fan of those red hot candies because I don't like cinnamon, like hot cinnamon type shit. So what she would do is she'd take cornflakes, marshmallow fluff, and green food coloring, and she would make wreath cookies. They were so good.
Have you ever done like the gingerbread house on Christmas?
Yes, I have done stuff like that.
one of
I
those?
have. I remember specifically one year growing up, I think it was something it's like a school project. I did something along the lines of a 101 Dalmatians something or another of a gingerbread house, and it ended up just being a Christmas decoration every year. I think I could be wrong, but I think it was 101 Dalmatians themed.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
My grandmother used to make this dessert around this time. It looks like an igloo, and it's basically a cake, and she called it Eskimo Hut, and I can't find it.
Okay.
I can't find it anywhere online because all it brings up is a restaurant in Texas of the same name. But I think it might have been like an original recipe. So,
Okay.
And trying to think. Oh, have you ever been to a white elephant?
Yes.
Gift
Okay.
exchange.
So
what was like the best or weirdest thing you ever got from one of those?
The first white elephant that I ever went to was actually on one of my trips to Florida to see my dad, and we went to a Christmas party. And at the very end of the night, we ended up doing the white elephant, and I think the weirdest thing I ever got was a pair of pajama pants, but it was Coors Light pajama pants. I was 17. I was 17 and got a pair of Coors Light pajama pants.
Man, it's been so long. I genuinely don't remember what I got from the one I went to, but what I do remember is one lucky person getting like one of the better gifts that was brought there, and then someone who went after them stealing it from them, and they were salty as hell because that was a thing you could do, was you could yeah.
I actually kind of got jealous of what my brother ended up getting from that same white elephant party.
Oh.
He got season 3 of South Park on DVD.
Ha! That is very random. Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm like, I got a pair of pajama pants. You got the season 3 of South Park. I'm jealous.
Yeah, I think I remember just picking up the most random nonsense thing I could possibly find, like your typical dollar store like joke gift thing, you know, like one of those things that's like a fake thing of gum that when you go to grab it, it like snaps your finger or some shit.
Yeah, okay.
You know, just something dumb like that because
There was,
it doesn't matter.
Another white elephant that I went to. This was a Rock Valley. This is one of the clubs that I was in Rock when I was going to Rock Valley College, but the church based club group thing that they had in the student center every Wednesday.
Okay.
We went to one of the other club members' house, and somebody, I don't know who, I ended up with it at one point. I don't remember what I brought, but I ended up with this item at one point, and someone stole it at the very last minute. It was a PlayStation 3 game, but I don't remember what game it was.
Okay.
But yeah, it was like a used game from GameStop or some shit.
Damn. All right.
Yeah, no, I was mad. I was so salty.
So, before we start wrapping up here, you know what? For some reason, The Shining just popped into my head, and I think it's because there's a lot of snow in it.
Okay.
I don't remember it having. Was there a big Christmas tree in the foyer in the hotel there? I don't think there was. It wasn't.
I wouldn't
Christmas
be able
time,
to
was it?
confirm nor deny that because I don't think I've ever seen The Shining. I'm not gonna lie.
Been so fucking long. Oh man, that one should be on your list of shame for sure.
Yeah, no, yeah.
That is a must watch for any self-respecting horror fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get around to it eventually because the scene where Jack is chasing
Good old Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah, and you know a lot of the famous scenes from that. Here's Johnny and all that, but like there's one scene in that movie that was famously they had to shoot it 127 times to get it right.
Oh Jesus! Okay.
Yeah. Stanley Kubrick was a bit of a Stanley Kudick, especially to poor Shelley Duvall.
Jeez.
But, anyways, yeah. Before we wrap up, let's talk your favorite holiday foods. Like, I know a lot of people for Christmas just do like Thanksgiving part 2, but what are some of your traditional Christmas dishes? You know, do you do like a holiday ham, maybe some cheesy potatoes, another green bean casserole? You know, something like that.
Green bean casserole is definitely on the list. But the one thing that really like resonates with me, I know it's not technically considered a holiday dish, but I always had this around the holidays. Every year we would have Christmas Eve, our family Christmas at my grandma's house. May she rest in peace. On Christmas Eve, and we wouldn't do Christmas dinner, but she would make appetizers, and she would make miniature pigs in a blanket.
Okay,
that was one of my all-time favorite. She'd get the little smokies and do like miniature pigs in a blanket. It was So good. She also
Oh,
did. Yeah. No, dude, it was good.
Speaking of pigs in a blanket, one of my favorite, like, I guess you could call it like an appetizer that they
Mhm.
would set out. It's famous around the holidays for some reason. Is the
Mhm.
one where it's a spear dill pickle wrapped in a piece of ham with the cream cheese filling stuff. I
Okay.
love
That's
I love
interesting.
those so much.
No,
They used to sell them at the store all the time.
okay. Oh, she also made like Rubens, like little miniature Rubens. And she like and if anybody wanted it, I always opted out, but she always made like strawberry milkshakes for everybody.
Oh, I'll send you a picture of what I'm talking about at some point, but they're called ham and pickle roll-ups. They're usually chopped up and you stick a toothpick in them, so they're meant to be like eaten off the toothpick.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, they're like one of those like fancy tray dishes. They go great with like a tray of like like olives and cheese
Mhm.
and different meats. Um or like another party tray I like at the holidays is like the veggie tray with the ranch dip
Yeah.
or the fruit tray with the cream cheese dip. Like
Mhm.
I love one that I used to destroy that my ex's family had out every year was the tray of cold shrimp with the cocktail dip in the center.
Yes. Oh no, my grandma
Yeah,
would
I
have one
would
of those every
pretty much
year.
destroy that. I would destroy that pretty basically by myself.
Right? Um, one one thing that I pretty much get every year around the holidays. I haven't gotten it yet, but I usually get it every year, and it's the half pound Reese's peanut butter cup.
Okay.
And I'd be amiss if I didn't bring up eggnog. I love me some eggnog.
A chocolate Santa, a chocolate Santa. Speaking of
Mm-hmm.
which, that's another skit on the Adam Driver SNL Christmas episode.
Mm-hmm.
Is he's like a candy maker advertising chocolate Santa on an infomercial, but when he takes the wrapping off, the chocolate itself looks like a phallic shaped object,
Yes, I know
and
exactly what you're
they
talking about.
and they start doing a bunch of inappropriate visual gags with it.
uh,
Um,
oh,
it's great. Wait, you've seen this skit?
no, I know I know the chocolate Santa that you're talking about.
Oh,
I've
okay.
I've, I've,
Yeah,
I've
that's what they're
actually
making fun
gotten
of.
that for
Yeah.
Christmas a few times as a kid. I'm like,
Yeah.
what is this? He doesn't even have Santa's face on it.
You know what I haven't had this year that I'm gonna have to have. I'm gonna see if we can do for Christmas is deviled eggs.
Oh, I love me
Because
some deviled
I didn't
eggs. Oh
I
yes.
didn't have any at Thanksgiving, but I'm gonna have to have some at
You
Christmas. I'm
mentioned
gonna have to.
dirty jokes and with the chocolate Santa thing, and I have to backtrack for a second. Back to
Okay.
music. Just for a second, because there is a song by one of my favorite bands, and they have got to have one of the dirtiest Christmas songs I have ever heard. This song, the band is Steel Panther. The song is the Stocking Song, and it's fucking funny. It's
Okay.
it's 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 great.
Actually, now that I think about it, you know who actually does
And that was an
great
original too.
Christmas music? Um, Pentatonics. They do great
Yes.
a cappella Christmas
Yes.
stuff.
I love acapella anything.
Um, and I think Lindsay Sterling has done her like
She
badass
has.
violin covers of a few
hmm
Christmas songs as well.
She's got a whole ass Christmas album.
Yeah, she's great too.
hmm
Um, but yeah, back on the topic of food, every Thanksgiving and Christmas, my mom makes a corn pudding that we really like. It's
Ooh,
basically
okay.
like a corn casserole, but it's made with like condensed milk and creamed corn and a few other things. But it's like um, it's like a kind of almost gelatiny cream corn based dish, and it's so good. Uh, I don't know how else to put it. I really like it every year.
One of the other
Um,
Things that would happen that would transpire at my grandma's house on family Christmas on Christmas Eve when everyone's done opening their presents. We wouldn't throw away the wrapping paper. What we would do is we would crumple it up and we would have a wrapping paper fight. And then
Nice.
throw the paper away.
I gotta be honest, I didn't feel like wrapping anything this year, so I just put everything in bags and stuffed them with tissue paper.
There you
But
go.
like, everybody got like okay, so my whole setup this year, everybody got like one big gift and two medium gifts, and then a bunch of tiny little odds and ends in the bag. So
Mhm.
my mom already got her big gift, which was a new PS5 controller. Ryan got his big gift. I bought him a copy of Crisis Core Remastered on Steam and gifted it to him.
Mhm.
It was on sale the other day, so I was like, yeah, let's do this. And then everybody else's big gifts are coming in the mail this week, and everyone's two medium-sized gifts from their Amazon wish list.
Mhm.
Their medium gifts are all from their Amazon wish list. Everybody got something from their wish list. The big gifts was stuff that I decided to go above and beyond with.
Okay.
Something extra different. I thought they might like. And so everybody's got the big gift, the two medium gifts, and then also in their bag is some candy canes, and some little odds and ends. Like everybody got a stress ball, and everybody got one of those mystery packs where it's like a mystery character or item or something. Like you don't know what's in it until you open it, and they're all different themes. Like one of them is Zelda, one of them is Batman, one of them is Star Wars, one of
Okay.
one of them is Demon Slayer, the anime. So, yeah, everybody kind of got there. One of them is, it could be like any kind of Nintendo controller or handheld.
Okay.
They're called backpack buddies. Yeah, and they're just like those little
Okay.
mystery things that you open it up.
That's
and
cool.
and a couple people got some Funko Pops and stuff too, just as fun little side gifts. So, one person got a poster.
Mhm.
So, yeah, just some side things here and there, stuff like that. So, yeah.
Did we have a little bit more time for like memorable Christmas gifts from when we like one specific memorable Christmas gift from when you were younger?
Well, you go ahead because I've basically already done that.
That's-
My memorable Christmas gifts are actually like more recent stuff.
That's
I
fair.
don't remember specifics that well. If I had to choose, I would probably say it was when I got the Sega Genesis and the Lion King game with it.
Okay.
Is probably a standout one. But besides that, my best Christmas memories are more recent years.
I remember the year I got my PlayStation 2 for Christmas and Kingdom Hearts to go along with it.
Oh, yep.
Mm-hmm.
When you mentioned Star Fox earlier, I was thinking in the back of my mind, I know he said he got Kingdom Hearts for Christmas too in that same
That was
episode.
not
before.
the same year because that was when my mom and dad were still together.
No, not the same year, but those were both part of your nostalgia discussion.
Yeah. No, that was definitely part of my yeah, it sure was. Yeah.
But
Kingdom Hearts and PS2 was my most memorable Christmas gift besides the puppy.
right.
Because that dog was
Okay.
man, I'm telling you.
Well, I'm glad that this is the season finale and the last episode of the year, because if my calculations are correct, this is going to be a damn near 3-hour episode.
Dude, I could keep
So-
going with how much I
know-
love Christmas. I could keep going, but I know we're a bit crunched for time.
Oh, I believe it too. We've both had some episodes where we could have kept going.
Mhm. Oh, no,
there
yeah,
there's-
absolutely.
We've definitely hit some niches for both of us here in this first season, and there's still so much more to come. And in season 2, expect some sequels. Not only part 2, or not only like the year in review of 2023, which we're gonna do that every year. That's just gonna be a reoccurring thing. But also I'm thinking we're gonna do a Would You Rather part 2. It's been a while since we've done a competitive episode,
Yeah, it's
so
been
I
a
think
while.
we'll do one of those. Just for funsies. And there are more ideas we're floating around out there, waiting for certain guests to be available.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't we have some upcoming guests?
Hopefully, possibly, not guaranteed, but ideally.
Okay, all right.
We would like to get it worked out at some point or another. But yeah, before we wrap up here, I'm going to put out, since you won't hear from us again until after the New Year's, this is the final warning to the listeners who want to participate in the Guess My Top 10 Games of the Year contest. That deadline is December 26th at the end of the night. Once December 27th hits, your chances are over. Done. Poof. If you didn't get it in by then, it's too late. Too bad, so sad. I'm sorry. And, I can only give so many reminders, and I know some people like to wait until the last minute, but at some point, if you miss out on it, it's your own fault.
Yeah.
I put out 2 reminders a week at this point.
Yeah,
so,
I really need to get my answer in.
Don't miss out on that chance for free money, folks. This is a once a year opportunity. Mm-hmm. So if you don't get in on this one, you're gonna have to wait till next year for your next chance. So, but with all that being said, if you're watching this on YouTube, click the like button, all that fun stuff. But also in the comments, let me know about your favorite holiday-related media, memories, food, and all that fun stuff. I would like to know. You can also email me at mroversoul53@gmail.com. And, of course, there is also the website formerly known as Twitter, on which I am at Oversoul53.
And you can find me over on the website formerly known as Twitter at The Vaping Fiend, on TikTok at the.vaping.fiend, and on Twitch, The Vaping Fiend.
Indeed. And with all that being said, have the happiest of holidays, everyone. Merry Kwanzaa and Hanukkah and Christmas and all that fun stuff. Whatever you celebrate, whatever you do. And the New Year's as well. We didn't really get around to talking about it. I kind of wanted to, but, all I can say about that is I used to throw
birthday.
That's true. I used to throw some banging-ass New Year's parties. And,
dude.
Now I don't anymore because I'm too old. But that was... But that was basically the long and short of it. But yeah, enjoy yourselves. Enjoy yourselves. Have a great holiday season. Stay safe out there. And we will see you after the New Year's for the Season 2 premiere of the Overcast. Good night, everybody.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Bye.